What's good, people? Welcome to Hip Hop Talks, where AG and I tolerate Sean for another week, quite frankly.
Yo,
Welcome. Welcome in. Welcome
yo,
in.
what's good, man?
I got a quick shout out. I was out and about today. God Complex. Check out God Complex. Black owned clothing brand. They gave us a couple subs, so I gave them a little pub, you know what I mean? A little hand to hand. I was like, well, if you plug us, we'll plug you. So they're gonna plug. Check out God Complex. Yeah, look them up. Pretty good. I copped a little something for mom for Christmas gift today.
Are they based out of Atlanta?
You want to know what? I didn't even get that far today. You know, what I mean, kind of caught me on the humble. I was like, I kind of like I like the approach. You know what I'm saying? I like the salesmanship. I was actually on my way out the door. She kind of stopped me. I liked her approach. You know what I'm saying? The approach is everything. I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and support right quick. So I haven't even had time to look it up any further. So
No doubt.
Yeah. How are you gentlemen doing? And by gentlemen, I mean, hey, how are you doing?
Cold, man. It's like 20 degrees here.
Yo, it's cold over here too, man. It's cold everywhere. It seems like everywhere it's cold, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Cold world.
It's been frosty with a touch of kiss my ass down here in Georgia. Like, yeah, I've been waking up to 20-degree weather, which is a little strange down here this early in December, somewhat. So yeah. But let's go ahead and get into it. You know who just had a birthday the other day, Sean. Would you like to wax a little poetic about your favorite guy to get this show started?
What is wrong with you, man?
Sean Carter celebrated another birthday. Same name as you, yet you hate.
It's spelled the same too. It's crazy.
Ridiculous. Did you know? Hey, did y'all know? Did y'all know that the Book of Hove is selling for two G's?
Yeah.
The actual Book of Hove. Are you gonna Sean, from one Sean to another, would you spend 2 G's on your name likeness on the Book of Hove?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Okay. If it was the Book of Esco, would you spend 2 G's?
Absolutely. And I would get something.
That is what makes you a fucking hater.
That's not a hater.
Just so we're clear.
A hater.
I just want to get it out the way early in the show.
I would get the other print. I would get like the cheaper print. I wouldn't get no $2,000 print. That doesn't make any sense.
I have a copy that the homie Will sent me from when he went to the museum. It's definitely not the thick ass book that they're selling for $2,000. But
is it all pictures? Is it actually any words in the book?
Right. I haven't gotten that far in the investigation process. I'm still in the process of processing the fact that he's selling a book for $2,000. Like, you can get a Bible for $24.95.
Facts.
That is crazy. And
you get you a Quran. You get you a Quran for $19.99.
Right.
Book of Hove.
That is crazy.
That's nasty.
You know what? It's funny because I have the Decode book. I bought the Decode book years ago when it came out.
Okay, I'm sorry to hear that.
Book, it was pretty solid. It was pretty solid.
No, that's on all right.
Yeah,
all right.
Is it?
Yeah. The RZA book is crazy though.
Try not to read books from rappers.
Why?
Just me.
Wow. Oh yeah, the Wu-Tang Manual. The RZA joint. Yeah. That joint dope too.
Really, like me reading the book. It depends. Like for somebody like if Wu-Tang Clan was doing like a full book, like with a breakdown of the history, like from a person by person account, and like something like that. Yeah, Outkast, Dungeon Family, because I'm from down here. Like, yeah, but most of the stuff as a whole, I wouldn't really delve into reading because for me, that's what the music's for.
Yeah,
it's like find a way to rap about it.
That's essentially what the Wu-Tang Manual is. It breaks down all the slang that we as kids didn't even know what the hell they were talking about. Most rapping along with it.
A lot of acronyms going on we didn't even know about.
Yeah, it gives you the history and stuff. And another good read, if y'all don't got it already, is Reading Illmatic by Michael Eric Dyson.
Yes,
actually, you want to know what? I have read that. That is good.
That's a great.
That is a good read. AG now. Don't be out here trying to educate other black people. You know they will shut us down for shit like that. You cut that out. You stop that right now. I want to make it through the entirety of the show. Sean, get your boy. Next
Hey,
time,
I
book a
can't control
host.
that guy, man.
$2,000. I don't want to hear it. Anniversaries, Ludacris, word of mouth.
The show is cool.
Actually, I want to hear AG's perspective because I want to kind of cover the T.I.'s Urban Legend because I kind of like have a comment about a reflection of the two of the albums because Word of Mouth came out before Urban Legend Trap Music. What do you have to say about Word of Mouth, AG?
It came at an interesting time. Like when Word of Mouth came out, I preferred Chicken and Beer. Word of Mouth I wasn't as big as a fan of, but Luda was a household name and a superstar, you know, with that album. And but the album itself, I didn't really gravitate towards that album as much. Like, and I'll be honest, like I was kind of pigeonholing well, that was about to sound crazy, but I was putting Luda in a pigeonhole the same kind of way I looked at, say, a Busta Rhymes, or so to speak. You know what I mean? Just kind of like dope rapper.
Let me interject. Is there something going on that I'm missing that makes you not do that still to this day? Am I missing something?
No, I still do, and a lot of people do, but and I don't think it's fair. But I'm admitting to my faults because you know, they're both dope MCs, but when I'm talking about the lyricists and the spitters, you know what I'm saying, I have a hard time you know, putting them in that category. You know what I'm saying? Because I look at them as more so like, you know, the fun aspect of hip hop. They're more, you know, the characters, but you know, they can get busy lyrically when they want to. And this Ludacris album kind of, you know, hit that point home for me, you know.
I thought this was his like coronation moment for me as an outsider who wasn't, you know, from that southern cloth, if you will. Because I remember when this album came out, I was just about to leave Japan, and Move Bitch was like everywhere in the clubs at that time. And it was heavy. it was one of the heavy songs. You also had area codes on there as well, which was massive. You know, everywhere I've been, you heard that song. Area codes and Move Bitch was like really big across the nation. And I felt like that was the one, to me, this album was the one that put him on that different plateau of someone who just kind of came out that box. Like you said, AG, you kind of liken him to a Busta Rhymes type figure. In that Missy Elliott vein as well, where they're very animated. You didn't really take him serious until certain times, but Luda was still spitting. Luda was up there. He was really up there spitting. And I think this is one of those ones where, and I know you're going to talk a little bit about Urban Legend. I've always felt like this was the one to me that set him apart from T.I. because he was able to like really navigate different lanes across board and not so much regional. I feel like this album didn't make him feel like he was just a Southern or Atlanta-based artist, but I think it made him outside the region artist to me, based on where I was at that time. Dope album. Coming to America was a dope kickoff to the album too. So love that album.
I think a lot of what you're saying, both of you are saying is true. But I think what is missing from the album is that, well, when you listen to Word of Mouth, do you really, really know that Ludacris is from Atlanta?
Nope.
Nah.
Nope.
That's what makes him so appealing to hip hop heads outside of Atlanta as opposed to T.I. And that's why T.I. is bigger down here, because we feel like T.I. provides everything Luda provides, but it sounds and feels and organically comes off as more Atlanta. And so Word of Mouth is a good album, but I don't feel like it really does anything special. It's Luda doing what he does at Luda's best. I'm not big on area codes or on Move Bitch like that outside of Mystical's verse, Mystical versus Stellar. Yeah, Mystical tore Move Bitch up. But I do think that he is important to the Atlanta scene in terms of giving it eyes and ears on us. And so I think the importance of word of mouth has a lot to do with just the attention that it brought to Atlanta because it was
Mhm.
him at his peak. And I think that part of it is important for Atlanta, even if the sound doesn't attach itself to Atlanta in any sort of identifiable way, really. And I
Right.
also think that usually artists have a album in their career like that,
Mhm.
typically, where they don't sound anything like where they're from. I think Schoolboy Q's Crash Talk sounds very Atlanta to me, you know?
Mhm. No,
So
that's fair.
those are my thoughts. Next, we have personal favorite of mine, Clipse. Hell Hath No Fury. I could go for days, so I'm definitely going to close this one up. So, Sean, tell me what you think about Hell Hath No Fury.
Yo, love this
Now,
album.
no.
Love
First
this.
of all, okay, good. Because I was about to say, you need to watch what you say, because I actually got somebody behind the boards watching you, and we were ready to cut you off about Hell Hath No
No,
Fury.
no, no.
Just
This is the one.
make
This
that to
is the
cut
one.
you off. There.
Nah, this is the one. This is the one. This what made me honestly like a real Clipse fan. This was the one because I felt like this was them, and also Pharrell. Pharrell's production on this album to me is one of the most stellar productions because Pharrell was batting pretty solid leading up to this. A lot of work with Nori, of course, you know, Corona, Queens, Left Rack City, Get the Money. He was working a lot with Pharrell, and he was working a lot of Jay stuff as well. But he wasn't coming up with beats like this for those guys. The beat selection here, what he was doing with the production here, was intentional. It was intentional for Pusha and Malice, and I felt like this album to me was one of those that I've always held high, not just as a Clipse discography, but just as a duo discography alone. This is one of those albums where I know AG and I talked before about the Locks versus Re-Up Gang, and I felt like this was one of those albums that would make it hard for me to defend, a battle like that. I still edge him out, but this is that album to me that tips the scale a little bit more in the favor of a Re-Up Gang if we were to go that battle itself. So again, love this album. Shout out to the Clipse. Can't wait for the new album to come out.
Yeah, was hoping we was gonna get that this year, but I don't know.
I don't think
Not
it's
looking
happening.
like.
I don't think it's
AG,
happening.
what are your thoughts?
Classic album, and Sean already alluded to it, but the biggest thing that this album proved to me is that the Neptunes could produce an end-to-end hip hop classic. That was my biggest takeaway from the album. Of course, the bars are sharp from Pusha and Malice. They're going to do what they're going to do regardless. But the production on here, because the Neptunes, as far as like hits and things like that, that was their bag. But, on my rankings of producers list, you have to be able to craft a classic album from end to end. And they did that here. And I think when you go through the entire Neptune's catalog, I don't think they have any other production job that touches this album, personally.
I agree.
I agree. This album is really, really special, guys. To me, at this point, it might be rap's most understated rap classic, in my opinion. The beat, the production by the Neptunes is 10 out of 10 on all levels.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is on a 10 on the productions. What doesn't get talked about enough is the actual beat selection. These are very Purple Tape, Liquid Sword type of beats they're rapping over. This isn't the normal like Neptune's fray of beats. There is something about them working with the Clipse that brings something out in them production wise that makes them perform differently. Maybe it's because of the subject matter being discussed by the Clipse. It definitely could be a possibility. But this album just feels different. I very much hearken it. Like, I don't think it's on the same level, but I very much hearken it to a Reasonable Doubt or a Purple Tape in terms of the level of the talk for that content and subject matter. Lyrically, they're precise, sharp, their entendres, metaphors, similes, bar seminars for days, witty punchlines, the best entertaining Coke references this side of Jay-Z in his prime. It's a masterful album. It has chilling moments. You know, they have songs on there that definitely aren't made for the radio, but definitely are hip hop classics. So
I won't put it in the Cuban link, arena, but I get what you're saying. I won't put it that
No,
high.
no, it's not that level. It's not that level.
I think you're saying
But
the level of execution, right?
Yeah.
yes, and it provides some of that feeling. It restores some of that feeling. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm glad you brought up reasonable doubt. And this is, shout out to Jay. His birthday was yesterday. Happy Easter Day. No, I'm joking. But I think it's more of a testament to how dope Jay is,
Shame
because
on you. I expect that shady shit from Sean.
I had to get that one in there. But for real, it's more of a testament to how dope Jay is himself as an MC, because on Hell Hath No Fury, to your point, Coop, I think Pusha is more Can I Live Jay, and Malice is more so Regrets Jay.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But
yes.
they're an amalgamation of Jay, as in two people, covering, aspects that Jay covers himself as an individual, but they pull off being a great amalgamation of Jay as a duo with that same level of content.
So to provide context to that, for me, Pusha T on Hell Hath No Fury is more politics as usual, friend or foe Jay.
Yeah.
And I agree with you about Malice being the more like Regrets Jay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mama, I am sorry for mistakes I have made. How I aired family business, how you put me in my place. Yeah. Like he's talking differently than Pusha is on the album. But that's part of what makes the album so special too, is that you can feel that they are at opposite ends of the spectrum in the game.
It's very yin and yang like.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's like you can feel that Malice is like, you know what I'm saying? Like even when he says like at the end of Keys Open Doors, he's like, and I got a glow. It's like the Lord shown favor. These bitches fake like the hoes on flavor, but I don't mind spending. All it is paper. Yes, it's almost like he's almost at like a state of normlessness with the lifestyle. And Pusha on the album is like fully fledged and engulfed and like having fun with it, like on the street side and on the rap side, and you can feel that energy and that opposition, and it really makes for a beautiful mix. It's a wonderful listen. Okay, we got to move to the next one, and we got a
couple of super chats, Cool.
Super chats. Who's sending money? Mad Max out here in these streets running wild again. CJ the Kid, what up? Bless you guys as usual. Hope you all guys are doing well. Can't wait to see what's in store for tonight's show. You just sit tight, CJ. CJ the Kid again. Better album, Hell Hath No Fury or Hell on Earth? Hell on Earth.
Hell on Earth.
Hell on Earth. But that was a great question, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I probably, at this point, because it's more recent, I'm going to tell you something about me that I even realized. I don't listen to that old stuff as much as I used to. I do listen to the more recent classics more often, more fully, because I haven't heard them as much. I feel like I've gotten my full on a lot of those albums sometimes, and it's like I really got to get in the mood to hear them.
That's fair.
Am I missing anything else, Sean? Is that all the super chats? Did I miss something?
That's it. That was the last one. Yep. You good?
Okay, cool. We got Nas with Streets Disciple, guys. Quick thoughts about Streets Disciple. Shouldn't have much to say.
Streets Disciple.
Wasn't too much to say. Wasn't that good?
What do you mean? You don't like Streets Disciple?
It's okay. Solid.
Oh my goodness, man. This guy.
Solid. Has some moments. It's very up and down. It's like a roller coaster at Six Flags. Has some very, very high moments. But sometimes you just find yourself on the ride kind of like waiting for something to drop, like to entertain you. Yeah. Somewhere in the middle. It's good though. Like the moments on there that are high, I'm super impressed with. Some of the other stuff, it's like, you could have kept up.
He's spitting. Real quick. I got a weird relationship with Streets Disciple because I got a few different memories attached to it. Like when it came out, I heard the album 2 weeks early. 2 weeks early, I had a homie that worked at a record shop that sold all the mixtapes. His name was Tashim. He was from Brooklyn. He actually rapped too. Tiger the A, shout out if you watching, bro. I ain't talked to you in years, but shout out to you. And he called me from the, the spot and was like, yo, come down to the record store. We're going to listen to this new Nas. This is 2 weeks before it's out. They just had it in stock. So we listened to the whole double album in full, and blazing on the speakers in the record shop. And of course, we like super gas. We both like Nas fans, think he the GOAT, and super gas with the album. And you know what I'm saying? Then something personal happened, family wise that same day, and took a crazy turn. I won't overshare. I think I told Sean the story, but it was a ill family situation, and I just had to fall back from a lot of stuff at the time. So I didn't dial back into the album until probably about a month after it was officially released.
Okay.
And then when I did,
you didn't miss a lot. You didn't miss a lot.
Yeah. Then when I did that, it wasn't hitting the same because, I was like gassed at the fact I was listening to it early and all the stuff. And then, fast forward, then it was out. And I was kind of like, well, this is definitely not one of his best. A lot of joints he was spitting, but I didn't have that same feeling. But oddly enough, at the time, I was getting married the same year that the joint came out. So all those joints that people hate, to get married, that no one else in the room, I was vibing to them joints because I was getting married the same year. So, but now,
same over here actually.
But now I'm not. So I don't listen to them. Those songs is not the same. So they're a little different. They're a little different now. But overall, it's definitely not one of Nas' best joints towards the bottom of his catalog. But I just got a weird relationship with that album, just like in the means of which I heard it. Didn't get to tap into it when it first came out because I was like, zoned out on some other stuff. And then, when I did tap back in, I was feeling it on the marriage side of things. But, things happen. So
I think, AG, the way that you just described where you were in your life and in the process of getting married is the exact same reason why this album isn't that good overall, because, well, he's somewhere different in his life and he's getting married for the first time. And this album doesn't sound cohesive. It doesn't sound in unison. The songs don't sound completed. The songs that do sound completed are brilliant in my opinion, and like very understated. Like Rest of My Life is one of my favorite sleeper Nas joints. You know what I'm saying? Just a Moment is one of those moments where it's like, oh no, when he completely fully and does the song, it's beautiful.
Do you like Nazareth Savage? That's my favorite. Nazareth Savage.
Love Nazareth Savage.
Nazareth Savage is a bar seminar.
That's nasty Nas. That's nasty Nas right there.
Okay, so I like Streets Disciple. Streets Disciple is my joint.
Oh yeah, I like both of them. I like Streets Disciple and Disciple, where he's mimicking Cool G. Like, that one's.
So that's what I mean. There are joints on there. They just don't sound as full and as finished as some of them should.
And we should be honest. Thief's Theme came out quite a while before the album dropped, and we thought that the whole album was going to sound like Thief's Theme.
It needed to if they were going to drop the. How about this? I wish they would have released something like Rest of My Life as the first single, because I think it would have that was the middle ground on the album for where he was in life to me. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. But Thief's Theme is a top 40-ish Nas song.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with these things. You got that set the tone, because that's classic.
It's more the beat. It's more the beat. It's more the beat than him, and you don't say that about a lot of his top records.
Yeah, but it set the tone. It's a B-side.
That's a classic sample though. Yeah. I didn't like it the second time he used it on Hip Hop Is Dead though.
Nah, because what was his name? Will.i.am messed that up. In my opinion, Will.i.am messed that up.
Now Hip Hop Is Dead is worse than this.
Oh my goodness, we're not going to do this tonight. We're not going to do that. We're not going to say happy birthday to Jay and then we're going to shit on Nas. We're not going to do that.
We can't do that.
Everybody knows what happened to Jay on his birthday.
I'm just saying, let's make sure we highlight that as opposed to saying this nigga 56, 57, according to the math in 2001 when he was 36 in a karate class.
You say he was 67?
Yo, he said 56, 57.
56, 57.
Jay can get Medicare now.
You were given new coinage and phraseology.
I know, man.
I can't take you nowhere. Even digitally,
I'm working on
myself. Take you anywhere. We can't even take you to YouTube.
No, I'm working on myself.
Oh man,
you're working on yourself. Can we get you a therapist to work on you? You working on yourself isn't working for the team at Hip Hop Talks.
Yeah, you want to talk about a crazy experience though, with like those type songs? Listen to Streets Disciple and then Life Is Good back to back. That's a wild ride right there.
Wild ride. Wild ride.
Life Is Good is my bag now.
Getting married was my point. I love getting married. That song was like, man, it was like, yo,
I don't know about that.
I'm ready to get married. I'm ready
No
to
one
get
else
married.
in the room, all those records. You could have kept those. Makings of a Perfect Bitch. You could have
Maxwell killed that joint. Don't do that. That sounds like a perfect reception song, if we being honest.
Okay.
That was the headset he was in.
Let's go receive it on another album. So let's not put it on that.
And we got some super chats, cool.
Okay. Oh yeah, War was the joint. I posted on the Discord. They got 3.5 mics. CJ the Kid, $2. Yeah, 3.5 is about right. I think that's about fair. Yeah. Jermaine Johnson, $4.99. Because of his premature exit, the world never fully understood or appreciated Malice MCing skills. He's better than a lot of our favorite MCs. A lot. I agree, Jermaine Johnson. Totally agree. There was for a lot of the time he was better than Pusha. CJ the Kid, $2. I liked War and Remember the Times. I like Remember the Times. Remember the Times is dope to me.
Remember the Times is a wild version of Girls, Girls, Girls. That one is crazy.
I can see that. I never thought about that. I never thought about that before. That's a possibility. Yeah. Okay, last one on the anniversaries. T.I.'s Urban Legend.
You already spoke about that, Coop, but I'll just be real quick and then pass it to Sean. But that's the album that really made me a T.I. fan. I'm serious. I wasn't really, on the T.I. train, and then, by the time he got around to Urban Legend, trap music, I was paying attention. Trap music got my attention. But when he dropped Urban Legend, I was like, okay, this might be the best Southern rapper out, period. Like, this is when Wayne is active. This is when Andre's still like blazing features and stuff. But Urban Legend made me pay attention to like, okay, this dude is for real. But then by the time we get to King, I'm a full-blown fan. And King is one of my favorite albums of the modern era. But Urban Legend is the one that really made me a T.I. fan.
As well it should have.
I'm going to be honest. It didn't do nothing for me. I'm going to be honest with you. 2004, it didn't do anything for me. I didn't become a T.I. fan until King. When King came out, I went back and listened to Urban Legend. When Urban Legend first came out, it just didn't catch me. I'm be honest. I couldn't vibe to it. I just couldn't. But
it was the J sample. It was the J sample. You play.
No, it was just. I just couldn't connect to it. I couldn't connect to it. I'm 24 at this time. I'm wearing.
I don't think
every day.
It's very much like word of mouth, in the sense that it doesn't really sound succinctly Southern. Like, right. This is his least Southern sounding album of his run.
Which probably got my ear, and I was buying into the whole Jay-Z of the South talk. I was buying into that when Urban Legend came out. Like, this cat might for real be the Jay of the South.
Put on the Reasonable Doubt t-shirt when wearing the classic album covers was popping and stuff. It's he had a moment, but AG, you also liked it because AG, you're like me. You're somebody who likes dope rhymes. There's a lot of dope ass rhymes on Urban Legend.
It is.
It's very Carter too, like in that it's like, well, not his biggest hits, but as far as his bar work is concerned, some of his best stuff, arguably.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't disagree. In hindsight, I don't
motivation.
Disagree. Yeah, in hindsight, I don't disagree. In real time, I couldn't. And I was around a lot of Southern guys in the military at that time. My crew at that time was all the guys from Georgia. And they thought it was crazy because I was on some other stuff at that time. I was listening to Purple Haze while I was listening to this. I'm being honest with you.
Oh, this is way better than Purple Haze.
It is, but I'm saying in hindsight, yes. But in real time, Purple Haze was going crazy for me at that time. I'm not going front. I didn't appreciate T.I. until King and on Paper Trail.
Man.
King and Paper Trail, because when I heard what you know about that, I was like, yo,
yeah, what you know?
He might be the one. That's when I finally admit, I'm like, he might be the one.
Man.
Yeah.
Tip is special because you want to know what it is. It's his most New York rapper album to me because he's very street still, but very lyrical at the same time. Like when he says stuff, you gonna make me bring the Chevy to a real slow creep. My niggas hanging out the window, mouth full of gold teeth. When the guns start popping, when it's gold teeth. Chopper hit you in the side and create a slow leak.
Yeah, he was spitting on there. It was dope.
Yeah, he's going wild on there, and it's like in the way that, quite frankly, most New York rappers rap. Actually, not most Southern rappers rap, but I feel like he had a point to prove. Like it's like, well, I'm not just a great Southern rapper. I'm like a great rapper, period. And I think he did an excellent job of that.
And his cadence was flawless.
Oh yeah, his I think as far as like the agility of his delivery, this is the agility of his delivery at its peak. Because he was just sliding on everything so easily. This and King. Okay, guys, we got to go to something a little bit more recent. Has in Skyzoo just dropped something new, guys. Keep Me Company.
Yes, sir.
Sean, you're our New York native. I feel like when I listen to a Skyzoo project, I hear somebody, especially in the, I guess what I'd say, second half of his career, has really spent a lot of the projects talking about the regentrification or the gentrification just period of Brooklyn through his eyes. It has very nostalgic tones. He's very Jay-Z and Nas inspired. This album is no different to me. What say you to all those things I just said?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll be honest. I got on this album after seeing the Discord. Shout out to the Discord. The Discord was talking about it a lot. And I said, let me go and check out this Skyzoo and see what's going on. And it's a good listening album. I'm still sitting with it. I'm still, parsing through it, but it's a good listening album. Very jazz influenced. Skyzoo is talking dope. I mean, he's spitting dope right now. I'll be honest with you. I think AG, you hit me up and you was like, yo, this might be my top 5 album this year. And in real time, yeah, I'm getting that vibe. I had to listen to it some more. I love, the kickoff, Keep Me Company. Community Service. I love jazz. I love the Record Store Day. I love the story behind it. It's almost like that. It's just a feel good record. You know what I mean? When you listen to an album like this straight through, it doesn't take you too high, it doesn't take you low. It just keeps you right there. It keeps you right there. And he had my attention. You can hear the Nas influence in, like you said, Cool. You can hear the J influence in there. I think that's intentional. The right skits, the right context to set the songs up. It has like a James Baldwin-esque type of feel, if you will, in some of the joints that he's speaking on. And it's just a dope record. I don't think it's over the top for me right now. I just think it's a dope project right now.
I'm gonna push back a little bit with you, Sean, and I'm gonna tell you why. And AG, I'm gonna push back with you too, and both of y'all tell me that you're feeling like this might end up being a top 5 project. Does the style of hip hop that a Skyzoo and a Master Ace make, and I'm being very serious when I ask this, does it really matter anymore, guys?
Yes.
Like how much does this style of hip hop really matter? Because I guess I'm in that place where it's like I'm tired of it not moving the needle, so I'm trying to, or I'm finding myself dissecting why it's not moving the needle. I will say that I feel like he suffers from, I feel like, what a lot of eras. Like we know that era of the 86 to 96 MCs is the best era MCs, because the MCs that have come after have all built their campaigns on it, some better, some for worse. Like somebody like a Rick Ross and a T.I. have taken what like a Jay-Z has done, and you know what I'm saying, and molded and modeled some of that behavior and made themselves successful. And I think for Skyzoo, he's tried to embody something hip hop wise that is Tribe and De La Soul, like with the jazz influence, Nas and Jay-Z like with the bar work, and KRS-One and Chuck D like with the content. And I love the record with Chuck D on here, by the way.
That one's hard.
That might be the best joint on there. I'm going to get to some of the things that I think he should possibly do. But I think we need to understand this. The style of hip hop that Skyzoo makes, guys, well, it was tough to go gold when that was the style of music to make. And that's what I mean when I say, well, how viable is it for an artist like Skyzoo to make this style of music? And I'm not saying he should switch his style up or do anything different, but think about it. It was a struggle for a Mobb Deep to go gold. We look at the infamous and Hell on Earth, and it sounds like it should be double and triple platinum, but it's not in reality.
Well, to answer your question, Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, to answer your question, there's 2 answers. Does it matter to the masses? Absolutely not. Does it matter to what now is a niche audience? Yes, it does. Because like you spoke on, Coop, Skyzoo is approaching this album and projects in general. It's kind of like a last of a dying breed, so to speak. You know what I mean? He's trying to keep that alive. And if, like, even if it's a small niche audience that's championing that, if we don't act like it matters, then nobody will. So, I love the album personally. Like I told you, Sean, it cracked my top 5 when I was listening to it over the past couple of days. Before, in that number 5 spot was Common and Pete Rock's The Auditorium Volume 1.
Okay, so the same thing with that album. It's like, okay, so
Right.
how viable really is it in these days and times? And to be honest with you, how exciting is this project going to be to you in about 30 days?
I'm glad you said exciting, because that's the only thing. And then Sean alluded to it too, where he's talking about it's steady. The Auditorium album, it didn't excite me as much as I thought it would, but this Skyzoo album, for those same reasons, I can't put it over the LL album, the Kendrick album, Rhapsody, Freddie Gibbs. Like, it doesn't have exciting moments per se, but what he's doing conceptually on this album and what he's doing with the lyrics gives, for me, gives him that nod at that number 5 spot. Like, he's always been conceptual. He's quietly having a great run, like with Retropod and All the Brilliant Things, and then The Mind of a Saint, and then this. That's a nice little run, and he's always conceptual. He puts a lot of thought and care into his songs, and like you said, he's very Jay-Z, very Nas inspired. But Sean brought up Record Store Day and skits that make sense. The store run skit before that, where he's talking to the shorty about, like, yo, you ain't up on records and stuff, and then he goes into a full-blown concept record about picking up a shorty at the record store and what that vibe is like. If you've never been to a record store day, you can't really get that. But if you've been to a record store day, it's a whole vibe. And to build a concept around that, and to do an interpolation off Jay-Z's Girls, Girls, Girls for the record. Like, Skyzoo, man, he's putting a lot of care into it. And you said the Chuck D joint, Coop, fire, Esoteric, fire. So much heat on this record, man. I love it all the way around.
Okay. And I agree with everything that you said, but also too, I think you just pointed out the 3 best records on the album, in my opinion. That's the Chuck D record,
and they're in order. It's a run, yeah.
So there is a run on the album, but this is what I mean about being viable in the space. Like, think about, what is this? The Record Store record? What is it called? Record Store Day?
Record Store Day, yeah.
Record Store Day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that record should already been dropped and should already have visual aids to it, fellas. Like,
that's right.
Like, because when I hear that record, I'm like, this is fucking brilliant. Mm-hmm. I'm just like you, AG. I'm like, oh, well, he's using the J flip. It's catchy. It's nostalgic. Yeah. The hook is dope. The bars are nice. It's got a different flowing vibe to it, but it's still kind of got that Tribe feel. And but it's like, well, is he gonna make it viable? Like, now? Like, well, why is there no, like, for real, why is there not a visual aid?
I think something more so answers your question. It's something that somebody else said, and it goes into how I feel about the album, why it has to be viable, it has to matter or mean something to the niche audience, or it won't ever on a wider scale. I don't know if y'all seen it, but y'all know my son on his Instagram story a few days ago was shouting out Kendrick, and we'll get to Kendrick later. He said, my son said that he was happy that Kendrick revived the West Coast sound, and because Kendrick revived the West Coast sound, that New York could go back to sounding like New York again, because New York rappers were chasing the trends, aka trying to sound like Southern rappers or what have you. So he was thankful that, okay, New York, it's time to get back into your bag and bring it back to that gritty NY sound. And he was thanking Kendrick for doing that on the West Coast. But what I got to say to my son is, people like Skyzoo's been keeping the New York sound alive. It's just a lot of people don't care to check. He's very New York with his approach. You know what I mean? So if it doesn't matter to the core people that it's made for, then it'll never matter to the masses.
And that's
so
you how
my son's overlooking stuff like this.
I don't think he's overlooking AG. I think it's more about the hearing palette right now. The hearing palette is different right now because if you think about it like this, like no shade to Coop, but when Coop said Glorilla had album of the year contender,
He got it every time.
no, I'm just saying, like I'm making an example because I'm push back on him a little bit.
I didn't say that.
It's a contender.
I said it was a dope album.
This is dope, right? And you're saying because you're listening to, yeah, you said it was a dope album, it's an album contender of the year. And when you said that, I couldn't understand where you were coming from. I couldn't identify, I couldn't relate. But I can understand your ear because you're hearing Glorilla, you're hearing a loud music. The loud music is what's getting the attention right now. I'm not talking about loud and the yelling in the mic or whatever. I'm talking about just
Sonics,
how much the sonics, right? The sonics and what they're saying because they're saying catchy things. Skyzoo not saying anything catchy on here. Everything on here is just bottom line hip hop in its purest, rawest form. And dope wise.
I don't want to hear him over these big modern sounds per se. But what I do, but okay, so if you're gonna fulfill a niche, I think you just need to fulfill the niche at its highest order, and I think that highest order is Record Store Day, Esoteric, The Joint with Chuck D. Those are the records where he sounds his best. And I guess what I'm saying, I'm not saying that it's a bad project, guys. I'm giving the project a good rating. I don't know if it's going to make my top 5. It might make my top 10. It's definitely making my top 20. It is one of the 20 best rap albums I heard this year for certain. I know that just off. I've only listened to it once. I don't know how many times you guys have gotten to listen to it. I've only gotten one full listen.
I've listened to it 3 full times.
Okay, I've only listened to it 1 full time. So it might grow on me a little bit better. So these are initial thoughts that I'm giving off, but I just don't see the push. I don't hear where it's really just gonna make the noise that it needs to make. It's another dope hip hop record for another dope hip hop artist. You know what I'm saying?
And
like some of the questions, no, there's nothing wrong with that. Some of the questions that I kind of had were like, well, is Skyzoo a top 10 Brooklyn MC all time?
Brooklyn got some joints.
I mean, so we
off the top of my head, I gotta say no.
So we taking Kane, Big, and Jay off, right?
Fab, AZ,
5 Jizza,
with
Yazine,
man, P. Rest in peace, P. I mean,
Old Dirty,
Talib.
Who?
Talib.
What?
There you go. And you call us haters,
right?
8. That's cool. 8.
You said Old Dirty.
Yeah.
Ain't Busta Brooklyn?
Nah, not really. No.
I thought he claimed Brooklyn.
Long Island? Is that Long Island?
It's more Long Island, yeah.
Okay.
He grew up in Brooklyn though. He went to school in Brooklyn with Jay and Big. Yeah.
Foxy and Kim.
There you go. Yeah. Well, so we already got 10, 11.
Top 20?
Oh yeah.
He's in that 20. He might be in that 20 piece. He might be in that 20. Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, it's Brooklyn though, so that's nothing to sneeze at. If you top 20 Brooklyn,
it might be the deepest borough.
Yeah. I won't go that far. I won't go that far.
I said it might be. I said it might be.
Yeah.
Damn, Corona Queens.
Ain't Sean P. Brooklyn?
Sean P. I said Sean P. earlier. Yeah, Sean.
Oh,
P.
I didn't hear you say Sean P. Yeah.
You said Price. Oh, he's Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
Okay, yeah. That puts him at. He's at 12 at a minimum.
At a minimum.
Okay, so that's what it is, and here's what I'm saying. So
Joey D.
I prefer to listen to a Joey project, but I don't think he's better than Skyzoo.
They're on the same footing. I'm glad you mentioned it, but they're on the same footing. That's the same realm that he's operating in. I don't think Joey's a better MC than Skyzoo. I just can't say that. Skyzoo has been too nice with bars and concepts for too long for me to say that.
We could probably say the same about him and ODB then.
Ain't nobody.
It's a style. It's a style thing.
Oh, man.
Baby, I can't wait. Baby, this, I can't wait. Fuck that big baby Jesus. I can't wait. You can't. There's no fucking with that. There's no beating that. You can't beat that. You can't beat that.
Oh, that sounds crazy. Baby Jesus, I can't wait. I can't wait. Yo, I remember that joint. I did not like that when I first heard it. I was mad. I was
Nah,
so
bro,
No, it's a
that's a
banger.
whole experience,
That's a
man.
banger.
Then he started
I'm telling
screaming.
you, man. Nigga, please. Nigga, please is special.
It is.
It's
It
crazy.
is. It really is.
It was crazy. Baby Jesus, I
He,
can't
re-
wait.
he redid Cold Blooded by Rick James and Good Morning Heartache by Billie Holiday. Who the hell redoes Rick James and Billie Holiday on the same album?
Man, miss that dude, man. I can't say
And he's
enough
a
how much I
rapper.
miss Dirty,
No,
man.
just off style alone, he's a top 50 MC. Like style alone, he's top 50.
No doubt. You're right. No doubt. What am I thinking?
One of one. One of one.
One
One
of
of
one.
one. Yeah. Special guy.
Special.
Okay, guys. We're gonna slide to the next. Hold on. Where are we rating this album before we slide?
Ooh.
I'm gonna give it a solid 4.
If I'm feeling like
I give it a 3 and a 3.8. 3.8. I got to listen to it some more.
my early thoughts are solid 4, but solid 4 is I don't think gonna crack the top 5.
Yeah.
That's where I do feel like that's where the Pete Rock and Common are at, but I feel like that's more the back end of the top 10 this year.
I think this album and that album are very comparable. It just depends on a preference, what your mood is. I mean, it's same mood pretty much, but just if you like,
the highs on the Pete Rock and Common are better, but the bar work end to end is actually better on
I can't say that because it ain't a song on that Common and Pete Rock that I like as much as Esoteric or Record Store Day on this.
Yeah, same here. Record Store Day is just special to me. It just
Record
I don't know.
Record Store Day is special. I don't know if it's okay for an artist like him. This is what I mean. When you're
maybe Pete got the production, maybe that's it. If you want to go that route, but
yeah,
could be. Well, actually,
and the name recognition as well. I think the name push it over a little bit too. I think it sounds better to say Pete.
I'm gonna listen to him because, like I said, the not Retropod, but Keep Me Company jumped over the Auditorium in my list for that 5 spot. But this weekend, I'm gonna listen to him back to back and see what I think.
No doubt.
Oh, I mean, we talk. What about like Dans and Fame? Like, what about MOP?
Yeah, Brownsville. Yep.
Brownsville. Jeru the Damager.
Yeah, I mean, you getting closer to 20. Yeah. What Coop said.
Oh, see. So that's what I mean. So it's harder for a rapper of his caliber to make an imprint making this style of hip hop because we can go get this from a Nas still. AZ still.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He would fall in that category. You have somebody like a Benny the Butcher and a Conway the Machine who have kind of like, taken what he has done on the independent route and leveled it up in terms of impact some. You know what I'm saying? A lot of their early joints, they were with Skyzoo.
I'm going to push back on that, Coop, because like the style of records, yes, but like it depends on the author because as dope as an author Nas is in his rhymes, he doesn't make a song like Record Store Day. We get a store run, but Nas doesn't make a Record Store Day song. That we don't get that from him. You know what I mean? Because that's from like, and granted, Nas is very nostalgic, but Skyzoo is speaking from a fan perspective. Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of, and I love Nas, but I don't think we get this type of record from Nas. Concept, yes, but that particular concept, no, because Nas is somewhere else. Skyzoo is still it's relatable. This is a record that Fonte would make, if that makes sense.
Good point.
Oh, I feel you. It's got more of a ground level feel to it, but I don't know if that's fair to Skyzoo and what he does. That's what I mean about making this record into something. It's like I want this record to be more than that. I want this record to be more like I want it to be more like a Common Come Close or The Light for him.
That's fair, but for me, it's the opposite. That's what endears the album to me. Okay. And I'm a big Fonte fan, so I like that kind of stuff, the everyman type thing.
Okay, I mean, I don't mind the everyman of it, but can we make it big enough that it creates a ripple for him, that it changes things for him, and he gets more notoriety? Because he is a really dope MC.
Mm-hmm. So. He's been around for a long time, and
he has. He has. That's what I'm saying. But all right, I digress. We're gonna go to the next thing. Uncle L's talking again. Made a top 5 rap album this year, and he just won't be quiet, guys.
Come on, man.
This is what happens when your favorite rapper ends up making a dope album when he's like 55. Isn't he like? Aren't he and Jay like the same age?
He's maybe 1 or 2 years, 2 years older than Jay. I think 2 years. I think LL. I think is 57. Somebody in the chat fact check that, but I think LL is 57. Jay just turned 55, double nickel.
Okay.
I still think Jay about 58, man. But yo, but L has a point.
CJ the Kid with my favorite track. My favorite track is Reason. $2 super chat from CJ the Kid. I just wanted to clear that out before we started talking about Uncle L saying that he is the most important rapper that ever existed.
Is he wrong?
I don't think he's wrong. Man.
I mean, like, he has the ability to talk from a vantage point that hardly anybody else does. You know what I mean? Because you get a chance to look at the field and the groundwork and everything that came after you. You know what I mean? So
prescribing to that thought is prescribing to the thought that, well, I did it first, thereby, that's what makes me the best at this.
Most important and best are two totally different things.
Yeah.
Well, that's saying two totally different things.
Okay. This is what I'm saying when I'm saying most important. What are you talking about when you were saying most important? You're talking about something that he did 1985 and the fact that he's still doing it now. Like how much has that importance resonated consistently over the course of this run or reign? How much has it diversified itself from a rapper standpoint? Hold on, let me give you an example of what I'm saying. Like when I say how much has it really been from a rapper standpoint, because he said most important rapper that ever existed.
Yes.
So you have somebody who we all think is the GOAT, Nas. I mean, Nas has mass appeal Pakistan right now and is literally signing African artists like right now. Like viable as a rapper in the hip hop culture sphere. And I'm not saying any of this disrespectfully to L, not hosting award shows, acting on TV series, film, or any of that. He said most important rapper.
Mm-hmm.
Have you experienced maybe the most important moments for a rapper? I think definitely. Does that necessarily make you the most important rapper over the full duration of it? Because when we talk about Nas being the GOAT, we talk about it being the consecutiveness and the consistency and the longevity of the run and how viable it has been musically at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. Well,
and so I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just playing devil's advocate, especially since you niggas is so quick to say yeah to everything today.
Well, no, I'm just good at compartmentalizing, right? So most important doesn't mean best at all. And it doesn't, to me, even mean the most impactful, because you can say impactful and just have a moment of hip hop. Like Kendrick's having the most impactful years we ever seen. You got Wayne's impact, you got Kanye, you got Jay, Nas, whoever. But most important, like you said, you know, you can take Nas, but Nas grew up watching L.
I was just using an example.
Right, but Nas grew up watching L. So if L doesn't spark that, you know, like, yo, I can do this, you know what I'm saying, to Nas, then do we even get Nas? Because Coop, you said it yourself. You said that Andre, you was talking about Andre made you believe that you could rap, And who did you say before him? Like you said Scarface. No. Yeah. I think you said Scarface, you know, made you want to rap, and then Andre made you believe you could. I think that's how you put it. I might be paraphrasing it wrong. But anyway, to that point, LL probably sparked a lot of the minds that we hold higher than him to think like, yo, I can really do this. You know, I can rap. LL's a superstar. They may have surpassed him, but he would still be more important because he sparked their brain to go forward.
I mean, okay, so you take somebody like a Jay-Z or a Tupac that have somebody like a Kanye West or a Kendrick Lamar that they've influenced and inspired by, for whole generations down in a tuck. That's what I'm saying. It is like, well, he's not. Does he have a viable case when he is saying it? Yes, it's just not as cut and dry as people are making it out to be.
No, it's not cut and dry. But like, if you ever, if anybody ever tapped into ancestry.com or whatever, when you checking out, and Sean always talks about the tree, but if you're checking out your ancestry, depending on the information that's been submitted, it'll go back so far, and then you get to a certain point where shit just cut off. It stops because you can only go back so far. And I think for LL, for a lot of people, that's the stopping point once you keep tracing the thread back so far.
Oh, okay, that's what I'm saying. So in terms of his legacy and his importance, that is the thing. He is the legacy superstar rapper.
Quintessential.
He is.
And and like I said, he is our archetype and motif about the bravado that comes with the MC. All of these things are part of the importance of it. What I'm saying is that outside of those things, and those things are as important could be when it comes to hip hop, especially when you look at how the modern day MC has behaved. You know what I'm saying? On and off the mic. He's super important. After those moments, after those groundbreaking legendary moments, how consistently viable and important has he been?
Very, because LL created the blueprint that's still going today, and the biggest artist that was in the world up, and you can argue until, well, he's still the biggest artist rap wise, and Drake got taken down in the battle, but rappers are still using LL's blueprint of catering to the ladies.
Oh, Drake. Oh, no. Drake is still king, and we're going to talk about that briefly when we talk about some of this tour money, some of this show money.
But he's using a lot of blueprint that L used. So
a lot of them did, because LL had so many branches to his tree. He had the lady branch, he had the hardcore branch, he had the battle branch. If you were to prune LL from the hip hop timeline, a lot of things going to wither. A lot of things, and there's only certain rappers out there that you prune. And
love the Marvel reference, by the way.
Say it again.
I said, love the Marvel reference, by the way.
Yeah, you know where I'm going with it, because if you prune him, you prune Rakim, you prune Kane, Curtis Blow, Run DMC, people, them in that ilk right there, you take them away from hip hop, we have nothing, because they meant so much, and he's one of them. He's one of the elders. He's one of the elders, because he was one of the youngest ones in that elder group, and we keep forgetting that. You had Curtis Blow, who was the first superstar of hip hop, right? First rapper superstar. LL was the reboot of that. LL rebooted what Curtis Blow really was, because he came through. He was with Run DMC around that same time. First artist Def Jam signed, right? First artist Def Jam signed. He kicked off one of the most legendary rap hip hop labels ever. You take that out the equation, a lot of things wither. And to AG's point, let's not just look at the female bag. Let's look at what he's done as a battle rapper. Let's look at what he's done as a philanthropist. Let's look at what he brought to hip hop when it came to TV shows. He was the first that done that stuff, right? Look at his acting ability in Too Deep as God. I'm just kidding, but at the end of the day, he's one of them. He's one of them. He's one of the elders. So yeah, Coop, to your point, maybe he's not ever existed, but he's one of those that existed, in my opinion.
I mean, I'm just giving some pushback, because it seems like everybody's just saying, "Oh, well, it's L and it's a no-brainer because he's the first to did this, first to did this, first to did that." It's like, okay, the first person to do like everything in most genres and in most sports and in most places in life usually isn't the person that like is considered to be most important at it, though. You know.
Well, I'm gonna take a Coop line. Let me submit this to you. I'm asking questions. When was when was the first time we heard Foxy?
I Shot Your remix.
When was the first time we heard DMX?
I had heard DMX before, but I hear you. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Right. When's the first time we see a visual of Big Pun?
Oh, I Shot Your remix. Video.
You know, I mean, the list goes on and on. Like, you know, for some people, 4, 3, 2, 1 was their first time hearing Cannabis. You know, so But still, that's kind of like, you know, what I'm getting at. LL, you know, like Sean said, if you take him out of the timeline, a lot of stuff changes. Right? So I'm rolling. It's not cut and dry, Coop. I do agree with that, but I'm
Right.
rolling with what LL is saying because, you know, I'm not getting lost on semantics. I can compartmentalize, and I think what he's saying is true.
Like, how about this? I think that's something that it's definitely poll worthy. How about that? It's like we should put Tupac, Jay-Z, Nas.
But can the voters distinguish between best and most important? Because, like I said, that's two totally different things.
Well, that's why I asked you to start this off. What's most important to you, like, really, really mean? Because it's like, I don't know, because just because you're the first person to do something doesn't necessarily mean you're the most important. You know what I mean?
True.
Like, if that was the case, George Mikan would be the greatest center of all time.
Right. No, you're right.
You feel me?
Right.
Like,
but George Mikan ain't no LL.
Yeah.
I don't know. George Michael won like 4 straight titles, scoring titles, rebounding titles. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Like, now if you took it back to, like, Grandmaster Caz and them guys, like,
well, how about this? Even with Bill Russell, guys. Well, I mean, Bill Russell, when Magic Johnson and Larry Bird were rookies, they did a poll and Bill Russell was named the greatest basketball player of all time. Bill Russell isn't hardly in anybody's top 5 anymore. That was 1978, 79 when Larry Bird and Magic Johnson got drafted.
Yeah, so much came after them. But to Sean's point, LL was the young guy in that first older generation. And then Kane and Rakim came after LL, and LL outlasted all of them.
He's an elder, man. He was the elder back then. He's about to turn 57 next month.
No. I love the conversation. I'm just giving some pushback for the sake of the dialogue. I can't be agreeing with y'all. It makes me look bad. You know what I'm saying? I have a reputation to maintain. People count on me to know what I'm talking about. If I agree with you, it obviously means I don't know what I'm talking about. We're gonna get to some of these super chats. We're gonna get to some of these super chats and slide to the next topic. DJ the Kid with the $5 super chat. Some people argue Rakim is the most important due to how he changed writing and emceeing. Thoughts?
Writing in him, he's the most important as far as the pen's concerned.
Yes.
Is that more important? Is that more important or just as important as the cultural package that LL brings to the table?
Mm-hmm.
What came first? The chicken or the egg?
So Rakim deserves to be in this most important conversation as well.
But whose legacy is still being exemplified in 2024?
Yeah.
LL's or Rakim's? Are more people, putting intricacies in how they write with the pen to give credence to Rakim, or are people still using LL's template?
I mean, all we have to say, LL made the better album this year. They both dropped projects this year. LL made the far superior album.
Man, that ain't even close.
Yeah.
That ain't remotely close.
Not even close.
Okay, one more super chat, and then we're going to slide to the next topic. Andre Miller with the $2 super chat. What up, Dre? LL Tree is Ja, Nelly, and Drake. Nasty work. What say you, Sean?
Look at all the records. You people, there's probably about like 70 million records.
Hey, you can call it nasty work if you want to. It's nasty to tune about 100 million records plus.
Absolutely, and that's not like nobody was singing when Ja Rule was in there.
People forget Ja Rule was going double, triple platinum, like back to back to back.
Exactly.
Like everything he was touching was going gold and platinum.
Exactly. Because if you want to say that, throw 50 in there. 50 is for that L Tree.
And he had a run like that for a few years. Most people don't get that.
Yes, he did. He
and
carried the torch.
And Nelly sold more records than John. Nelly was selling 6, 7, 8, 9 million records.
Yeah.
That's the case. You got to still don't forget
Drake shit just different.
But to your point, Coop, this just popped into my head. Like you was asking about Rakim. If I'm being honest, of course I got Rakim ranked higher, but LL checks more boxes than Rakim does. Far more boxes.
So this is what I'm saying. He checks more boxes, but when you look at, how about this?
How you asking how the boxes are weighted? What's more important?
Yes.
Yeah. I get it.
Like when you're taking, my daughter's about to take the SAT, gentlemen. When you take the SAT and you're taking like the English portion, oh no, them like 2 essays at the end is like 40% Them two questions is 40%. Them other 80 questions is 60%. And so when you look at, even though LL is the first person to come and embody that hip hop culture, fashion sense, bravado, and steez, more people look and rap like Rakim than LL, guys. Even though L did it first and embodies the same thing, when people think of hip hop in the 80s, they don't think of LL and radio. They think of Eric B and Rakim on the cover of Paid in Full, guys.
Cool, because Rakim is the prototype. He's the special. He specialized in that. He's a specialist when it comes to lyricism. LL is this Army Swiss knights.
I'm talking about the cultural look, though. I'm talking about the cultural look of what a hip hop. You know what I mean?
Well, that's not fair, Coop, because we love to look at rappers for like the album covers. We wanted to emulate that. Everybody wanted the Dapper Dan Gucci, the Dookie rope chains and stuff, and that's not fair comparing it to radio, because radio is a boombox on the cover. Like LL ain't even on there. You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean, no. This is what I'm saying. How about this? There are more guys from that era that ended up dressing the way that Rakim and Eric B were dressing in real life than guys were dressing like LL in real life, in real time, in terms of embodiment of the culture at that time.
LL got something to say against that, because anybody who wore FUBU during that whole era was wanting to dress like LL.
I did, because I had one pants leg up, one pants leg down. Yes.
Yeah.
Sean, we know you have no taste. Let's slide to the next topic.
Wow. You see what I'm wearing right now? you see that crescent sign right there? What do you mean? What do we mean?
What is that? What is that? What are you wearing? Oh my God.
Exactly.
He said you don't even know.
You don't even know.
Please.
You don't even know.
Sean said the logo secret. Shout out to Jay.
Yeah, the logo secret.
That's that Tarjay special. That's that Tarjay special when you just got off the plane and you ain't got nothing to wear to hip hop talk.
Winter edition.
All your clothes still dirty.
You know what I mean? Look at the insides. Oh my goodness, this is the winter edition. Yikes.
Okay. Winter edition of what?
Who talking about your fit? He got a fake pocket. That joint don't even open up. That like
he didn't put his hand in it.
Sir. This is Armani Exchange. This says AX right here. This is Armani Exchange. AX.
Do it open up.
No, it don't open up, fool. It's a patch.
I'm sorry, my bad.
It ain't got the crescent on it. It ain't got that crescent on it.
I know y'all don't wear Armani Exchange. I do. I happen to like it. Shirt's very comfortable.
Yeah, that's cute.
I like it. It's cute. Nigga, we're going to the next topic. Don't ever call my shit cute again on
it. Is. My daughter loves Armani Exchange.
J. Cole. J. Cole. Your daughter's 42, Sean. You're 96 years old in a karate class. Shit, she should like Armani Exchange.
Y'all killing me, man.
We the same damn age with your old Park Hill ass. Now let's go to the next subject matter, please.
Oh, man.
So, hey, guys, what do we think about J. Cole's rollout?
I love it, man. Yeah. I got to give a shout out to my man AG though. Like real talk, AG has been like my the commentary guy for me when it came to it. I didn't purchase this thing that Cole has because AG just been like giving me the rundown, like the footnotes to it, and I appreciate it because he's breaking it down for me to understand what's going on.
So you're enabling his behavior. You're not working on it. Okay,
absolutely. Because I can't do anything else. I tried. I don't gave up. I can't help him no more. He's gonna do what he's gonna do. But he does a great job breaking like down the actual podcast that Cole has, and just really listening and kind of getting AG's feedback on it helped me understand a lot of different fragments of what Cole was talking about during those times when he was making those albums. Especially when he was talking about the whole dynamic with Jay, how Jay wanted him to get the joint from Drake, you know, from the boy as he called him. And just how Cole played that whole thing out. But for me, I love this rollout. I love it.
So excited.
Yeah. For those who's not in the know, it was real disrespectful. This is so disrespectful. But Jay, it was a party. This is around the time Cole was working on his first album. LeBron and Jay-Z had a Two Kings dinner, and Cole and his man Ebe, and then Drake and his manager Future, not Future, the rapper, but his manager Future, and then Chubbs was all around talking, and Jay-Z coming to party and look at Cole and Drake and signals to Drake like, yo, come on, just get a boy one, just give him one of those hits, like, and just walked off after that. You know what I mean? And Cole took it as disrespect. Like, Drake got to write me a hit now. So
Cole took it as disrespect. It's nothing to take as disrespect. It's disrespectful.
Oh yeah, he approached Jay on it. You know what I'm saying? And
those open hand slaps that I'm talking about, where it's like
he got a little tight with Jay, and then what I'm saying, approached him on it. But no, for real, this the series is real fascinating, and it's a good career retrospective rollout. And you get, we'll talk about it later, like since I was a part of the people who subscribe to the pod, you get like emails and perks like the Garden Show that we're going to talk about. You got early ticket advance sales. I didn't get one, but I would have been able to cop the tickets in advance. Same thing with limited edition vinyl, because tonight he's actually dropping the 10th anniversary of Forest Hills Drive with 8 extra tracks on it. And they were selling exclusive vinyl through a link through the email if you subscribe to this podcast. But what I want to talk to you guys about, the most fascinating thing I heard on the last episode is, it really taps into who J. Cole is as a person, and it makes you it makes more sense, like the moves he made and the apology and whatnot. Dude's just a likable guy and wants to remain well liked. But the thing I found fascinating is, remember on the Heavens EP freestyle when he said the fans threw the bronze at him, you know what I mean? And put Kendrick and Drake above him in the quote unquote big three. He actually said himself that Kendrick surpassed him when Good Kid, Mad City dropped. And I thought that was fascinating, because he said that when So Far Gone dropped, he was working on Friday Night Lights, and that made him restructure his whole approach to that mixtape. Instead of doing all freestyles, like, damn, Drake is doing a mixtape that's on the level of an album, so I got to step my game up and make my mixtape on the level of an album. And then Drake gets into making certifiable hits, and he said, I was chasing Drake mentally, and he was collabing with Kendrick. He knew what Kendrick could do on the mic, because between like a few episodes, they played like 4 or 5 collabs that never came out, exclusive, between him and Kendrick, that they were working on a project together. So he knew Kendrick was like, going to make his place in the game. But he said, I wasn't looking in the rear view and didn't see him, coming out like that. So Kendrick came with Good Kid, Mad City, and J. Cole said he envied it, because Good Kid, Mad City had everything he wanted as an artist. He wanted the critical acclaim, the classic status. It had hits that was working on the radio, and it sold more units than J. Cole's debut. So J. Cole said, I'm too busy chasing what Drake was doing. And then this guy came and surpassed me. So I just thought it was wild that he admitted that he felt that Kendrick surpassed him at Good Kid, Mad City. And he's been, basically holding that third spot down since 2013? If we look at it like that, for over a decade.
I hate that entire perspective.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy to say that out loud, but it just really fascinated me and blew my mind that he said it.
Kind of crazy?
Yeah.
No, that's full on crazy.
So that means you've been viewing yourself as it's not the fans that put you in that spot. You viewed yourself in the third place for an entirety of a decade.
He might need a rapper psychologist the way LeBron needed a sports psychologist after the Dallas choke. Might need a rapper psychologist.
Yeah, but it does sound crazy, but for AG, his humbleness.
Hold on, AG. Furthermore,
I
don't want to hear about any of this shit.
We know, Coop. We want the album.
Yeah. But December what? It's December.
Oh,
what?
It's not coming out this year.
Nah,
it's not happening.
Nah,
you don't.
This is going to be a long retirement rollout. He's still got more to go in this rollout. He's giving you a full career retrospective before he tires and says sayonara. Like, I mean, it just
he's
is what it
retiring?
is.
Is that what this is?
We'll say what?
He's retiring?
I mean, yeah. Like, I mean, where have you been under a rock? Like, what the fuck, Coop? It's called The Fall Off. It's his retirement album. Like, and you from North Carolina, it's crazy. Like, yes, he's retiring. At The Fall Off is going to be his last album. That's why this is a full career retrospective that he's given us, because he is done after that.
Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. All right. Ain't nobody buying that. Jay did this shit to us before.
Yeah, but Cole's not the type to cap on that level like Jay do. Jay stayed capping.
Yeah.
Oh, Cole don't cap?
He don't cap about retirement. He'll be like Joe Budden. He'll like
whole year's
be gone for real.
Capping his ass. That's what this whole year has been.
Nah, this pod is dope. You hating. Like, I tell you what, this pod is giving you more insight into Cole than any of his albums will give you.
Yeah.
And that's a fact.
I'm so happy that you're enjoying it.
It's fire.
Okay.
Coop is hurt. I get it. That's that pain talking, because Coop was really hurting for Cole this year, and Kendrick came out.
He fake hurt. The nigga ain't even know that Cole was retiring. Stop it.
You might be on to something.
He was fake hurt.
Hey, look here. I'm gonna be honest with you.
You might be
when the whole apology thing happened, or whatever we want to call it, it was checkout time. It was checkout time.
But why?
Well, that's part of it, though.
Break. You see, no. See, I believe in protecting my peace, and what you're not about to do is say peace.
You're right. I thought about that, Coop. I didn't think about your equation.
So he get to say peace, but I'm supposed to be keeping up with the fuck going on with him. No, nigga.
You're right, Coop. I didn't think about that.
You go get your peace. I'm gonna go get mine. And now, I would like to talk about these gold pieces around my neck right quick.
Look at the segue.
Yeah, we saying peace to talking about J. Cole. Peace, nigga. Where the fuck is your
We ain't done with Cole yet. We still got one more thing, but go ahead.
You said some fucking balloons around here again. Put some balloons in the drop again. We're gonna have a problem.
How does that even happen? Like, who does that?
I have no idea. Because it's a celebration when I come through with 2 chains on. Okay?
Sheesh.
You know what? Have a very Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah, all you and everything. Shit.
Gentlemen, we have our first sponsorship. I was able to talk to a young man who owns a gold company. It's called triogoldshop.com. What I have on right here is a 3mm, 24-inch gold Franco chain. It's all 18 karat gold, by the way. This is an 8mm, 26-inch Cuban. And we're going to help Trio Gold Shop sell some of these chains for the holidays. They're actually really nice. What you think, fellas? Y'all want some of these?
Dope. Oh, sure.
Yeah. Sure. Y'all need to check out the website. Trio said he's down to hook up Sean and AG with some merch too. I told them that everything. I told AG now everything's a go with you. I don't know about Sean yet. I said whatever AG want. I said whatever AG want. I said that's cool. I said we got to check up on Sean first. I was like, sometimes he get a little out of hand, out of pocket. I was like, we can't just be giving this nigga Cuban links for free. Sean,
he likes Cuban links, but he gets no Cuban links.
So Sean, your shit might cost a little bit. AG, yours is free.
No doubt. We'll have to link that in the chat, so the people can pull up, get their loved ones, I'm saying, a chain.
Yeah. And also too, I do want our followers to know that this is actually Black-owned business. This gentleman has actually funded his own business, bought his own jewelry, 18 karat gold, also sells silver as well. His pitch goes that, you can upgrade your style with the premium gold chain. Use 18 karat gold. It is real gold. It doesn't tarnish. It doesn't fade. You can shower in it. It's sweat proof, weatherproof, waterproof. It's Black owned. And, we always want to support Black business here. I'm not going to lie. I have not taken these chains off since I got them 2 days ago. I have You know, I've done everything in them. I've balled so hard on these hoes with these chains on. I went to work with these chains on. I went to the mall and balled again with these chains on. I went to the auto shop with these chains on. I got in the shower with these chains on. I prepared for the podcast with these chains on. I went outside like Tony Soprano in my robe to take out the trash.
That is
With these
crazy.
chains on. Yeah, I did with these chains on.
No, I get it. I get it. I remember I got my first chain. I was like,
This is not my first chain, you dummy.
Yo, cue up Big Sean and Nas.
My first chain.
I got my
My
first chain.
First
Got my
chain.
first chain when I was like 7, fool. I'm from the west side of Charlotte. I was raised in
I'm
the
just
Gators,
saying, I remember when I
Georgia.
got my first chain. I was excited too.
Been
So I know
wearing
how you
gold
feel
chains
about
and gold rings since I was a kid.
Cool act like got the Rockefeller, chaining day.
it. The Rockefeller chain. Yeah.
Are you all going to help me sell this product or not? What is wrong with you?
We just
We're on the screen. We're helping you sell it just by being
Are
here.
you sure?
Right.
Hate you niggas. See, this
Nah,
is what
man,
I
for
meant.
real. Like,
This
we
is what
got to
I
link
meant.
that in the Discord, too. We got to link that in the
This is what I
Discord, too.
meant about being unsure about if Sean was getting anything. AG, we're going to see whatever Sean wants. No. I'm talking to Trio. Next week is going to be me with 6 chains on. Your chain going to be on me like I robbed you.
He gonna take our chains, Sean.
It's gonna be a stick
got
up
so
without
many,
having
man.
to stick
I
you
got
up.
so many.
It's like,
Coop
yeah.
gonna come over here looking like Slick Rick or Mr. T with our chains on, man. He got everybody's chains on, man.
I'm gonna be like,
We're gonna drop the link.
see, this the charm to say AG right here.
He's gonna have an eye patch and call us peasants.
That's crazy.
I mean, I already call you peasants. You know what I'm saying? I don't need eye patch to do that, but I definitely gonna wear all your chains.
Yeah.
So why don't you two ungrateful brothers
Did you?
go on? I want you two ungrateful black men to go on TrioGoldShop.com and pick out some pieces that you all would like to wear. Trio said he's willing to provide us with any sort of merch we need. So if you want hoodie, hat, whatever you want to do to help promote the brand, sell the chain. We're selling gold.
Facts. Hey, show them the pendant that you got in your pocket.
Okay, I'm gonna show you the finger that I got on my
the shirt pocket.
You see the finger I got on my hand? See the finger I got on my hand? See what I can do with the finger. See, I can show both the chains with this finger and show off the chain and the finger at the same time.
Yo, this is the best promotion anybody can get. Word up, man. Shout out.
The website.
Yeah, we appreciate the look.
The website is triogoldshop.com. So TRIO goldshop.com. If you don't know how to spell gold and spell shop, well, we want you to buy 7 chains when you finally figure out how, because you're not that bright anyway. Go buy 7 chains. Okay, I'll be on here with 6 chains next week because AG and Sean ain't getting shit for Christmas, but a bag of coal and about humbug from Coop. This is Hip Hop Talk sponsored event. We'd like to move to the next topic. Shout out to Trio, his wonderful family in Trio Gold Shop. Thank you all for supporting Black-owned businesses. I think I'm gonna have to put a couple pieces on these chains. You know what I'm saying? Really ball. Okay.
Yo, shout out to Trio Gold Shop. Man,
no. Shout out to Trio Gold Shop for giving us our first real right plug. You know what I'm saying? And he was and I just want to say, Trio's also one of those brothers that it's like, when you all get a chance to meet him, you're one of those guys you're gonna want to do business with him. You know what I'm saying? He was so quick and willing. He's like, it's pretty much, he helped us shine, we help him shine, and really, that's how Black Wall Street was built, guys. It was built on just the right people getting together and helping each other strive at what their entrepreneurial endeavors was. So glad to take part in it. We got to move and go to the next thing, which is the main thing. The big 3 are all going on tour at separate time, guys, but kind of like the same time.
Yeah,
kind of feels intentional. So we have Drake. Drake's going on tour. Where is it? New Zealand and Australia. And he's had to add extra dates because the pre-sale demand has been so high.
Yes.
Isn't it the I need a max win? He very much needs a max win. Like very much so.
Yeah.
he can use one.
I'm going to say less about that. I'm just going to say that numbers-wise, he's still doing everything that he usually does, which is win. J. Cole is preparing for Forest Hills Drive 10-year anniversary at the Garden. I don't care. Where the fuck is your album? And then we're gonna go to Kendrick and SZA. No,
No, I don't. No, I don't do that. Don't skip over Cole. That shit. The shit in the Garden going to be dope. And
take it down
listen,
until we get an album.
Listen, 2014 tickets is going to be sold for $1. He's still keeping up with the Dollar and the Dream theme. So, but they're going to drop a secret location. You know what I'm saying? Before the concert in 2014, and the tickets are going to get sold for $1. So that's dope. Shout out to Cole for that. But it's going to be mayhem wherever that event is located, where you got to get the tickets for $1. So when he drops the location, Addy, it's going to be crazy.
I'm buying 100 tickets. I'll be able to sell Trios chains there quicker than them tickets.
Yo, that is
Where's
crazy.
my album? Where's my album? Where's the fucking album? Ridiculous.
Hey, he might have told you the release date of the album, but you wouldn't know because you don't tune into the podcast. So, you know.
I'm out. I told you I was out. You're not about to be apologizing. No, we're not about to be doing that.
You want too much from Cole at this point, man.
Kendrick and SZA has actually been the news of the week, guys. What do you think about Kendrick and SZA touring being the news of the week? What do you think about Kendrick getting in full stadium flow with SZA? I mean, these are some big venues, big arenas. I think this is arguably venue-wise Kendrick's biggest tour to date. He's coming to Atlanta. Sean, I do plan on going there to hate. I plan on going there to hate.
Buying tickets to a stadium tour to hate is nasty. You said Sean was hating on Jay. It's crazy.
Right.
No. See, Sean, the thing that really makes Sean the hater of all haters and why Sean's going to win hater of the year over Mad Max is because Sean isn't aware of his hater tendencies. See, I know when I'm about to hate. I know when I'm about to hate.
No, because you be doing it to me all the time, and I gotta tell you on the side, like, "Yo, bro, chill." You
it's like
because you throw me under the bus at least once a week.
Sean wake up and subconsciously hates on niggas. That's a different type of hate.
The
hate over here is conscious. Is like, oh, he's coming to Atlanta.
Yo, if I had $1 for every time Sean told me, "Yo, man, I'm sorry," because I'd be like calling him out, like, "Yo, what are you doing?" But not this stadium tour. It makes sense, and it does. Let's just address the elephant in the room. It does have to be both of them because SZA is just as big as the artist as Kendrick is. It does have to be both of them to sell out stadiums on this tour. So
don't you think she's the biggest artist at this stage?
Yeah, I could agree with that. But I'm just saying, it's both of their names are needed in order to be able to sell out these states.
No, this works. It makes sense. But I mean, SZA did just get done doing like 7 million.
Yeah. So but it's going to be dope. Kendrick, got a dope new record.
Has Kendrick ever done 7 million? Like
not
an 18-month stretch.
Nah, not that I know.
That would make her the bigger artist right now.
Yeah. I mean, her last album, first week sales are comparable to what Kendrick did, this week for GNX. GNX did what, like 320, something in that ballpark.
Well, let's talk about that right quick. I have some numbers right quick. I want you fellas to tell me what you think about these numbers while we're talking about these rappers on tour. So, Drake's For All the Dogs did 402K when it came out. Its first week. Okay.
I thought it was more than that.
402 is the official number.
Okay.
Now, the Kendrick did 324, right?
Yep.
The Schoolboy Q did 34. The Ab-Soul did 5. The Mustard did 18. The Doechii did 11. Now, all those albums combined did 400. And this is supposed to be a shining moment for Kendrick. And supposed to be a low point for Drake. And quite frankly, as far as albums are concerned, if we were talking about Drake's catalog, For All the Dogs would be on the lower end of his catalog. Would that be a fair assessment?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Drake's still the bigger artist. There's no arguing that.
So why does everybody keep looking at me crazy when I'm saying like the reason that Kendrick's doing a lot of these numbers that he's doing right now, specifically, is in correlation to who he's been talking about?
Yes and no, Coop. I had this argument this morning. I was talking to one
Is
of
it
my
how I'm saying it? Am I saying it like a hater?
yeah, but
Yeah.
I was having a conversation with one of my
That was a
homies this
rhetorical
morning.
question.
Yeah, shout out to Mike. You know what I'm saying, my homie Mike, but in Greensboro. But we was having this argument this morning, and he subscribes to the same thing of, you know, Kendrick. It does seem he has the most light on him now than he's ever had in his career. So with that being said, if numbers are being you know, altered and Kendrick's cheating or whatever, and these bots are, you know, helping his album sales or what have you. I mean, I know the lawsuit is just over Not Like Us, but he has all these people in his corner and he only did 320 some the first week. Then that argument doesn't hold up if you go back and look at the damn numbers. The damn numbers did twice as many the first week. It did over 600K the first week. So I don't think it's fair to say that just because he beefed with Drake this year and everything's at an all-time high for him, that he's never been hotter than this, because we can point to a moment in time when he actually was hotter and it didn't have nothing to do with Drake.
I'm going to ask you a legitimate question that I sincerely don't have the answer to, very, very seriously. What did Mr. Morale do the first week?
Somebody in the chat check that. I would say probably about 200 and some off top of the head.
So,
and remember, it was a double album too, so those units.
So I don't think that count. It's fair to look at what Damn was. I think Mr. Morale is more of an accurate depiction for what his numbers look like without talking about Drake in this current rap climate.
Well, current rap climate, yeah, but if we're talking about any snapshot in history over the course of his career, Damn was his peak. And that's why you was so hard on him about that 5-year break to get to Mr. Morale, because he stepped away and left at his peak. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think you can fairly say like he's never been hotter than right now when he's talking about Drake, because at his peak, he technically was.
What was attached to Damn? Didn't Damn have something else along?
I mean, Damn had Rihanna on a record, so that's a lot in and of itself.
But didn't have
Sean, that's not what Sean's talking about. Sean's talking about, okay, so there are industry rumors that Kendrick really didn't do numbers without bundles. And Damn has bundles, so a lot of people feel like
that's a lot of damn bundles. 600K.
I mean, I'm not saying that I mean, but what if the bundles were responsible for 200? AG
400 is still nothing to sneeze at, man. You could take away those 200 if you want to.
I'm not taking anything away. Lord knows if I take anything away, the KKK is gonna go KKK. You know what I'm saying? Gonna be crosses burning in my yard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kung Fu Kenny rules. You know what I'm saying? But
we can't have that bundle talk when it's, you know, when it's okay for some people to do it and it be on their numbers, but then want to highlight it on somebody else's. Like, we gotta be consistent.
Well, we called it out as well. We called that on Travis Scott before. Remember? We were saying how.
I remember saying something about when Nicki did it, but I don't remember when Travis saying.
I was mentioning it on Travis because remember that second week, it was a big decrease. It was a huge.
I would have bought Travis's album 20 times over if it would have guaranteed me a, you know, saying the Jumpman Jacks joint. I'm still mad about missing them on Sneakers out, by the way. But I'm a cop them though, you know.
No, absolutely, it helps. The Cactus Jack stuff helps, man. All that stuff helps because it gives an extra boost to the pure sales itself. So it gives that extra boost. Right now, if you look at the numbers right now, it's hard to quantify the numbers right now.
Right.
Everything is so jacked up. Everything is so, like, you can't even tell what is what right now. GNX came out. It was a shock drop, if you will, for my sneakerheads. It was a shock drop.
Mm-hmm.
So those copies are based on just a reaction. 320 is nothing to sneeze at when it comes to a reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
So no promo. Zero promo.
So let me ask you something. So,
well, he had promo because, I mean, you can't buy better than promo than going against Drake in the beef. But
hold on, what are you all expecting next week's numbers to be like? Are you expecting him to do like 150 next week?
That's going to tell the real story right there.
Correct. That's correct.
So, okay, so let's say, just hypothetically, competitively speaking, what if next week he only does 76,000 copies, which would put him at 400?
That means all the casuals have left the building. I would expect at minimum 50%, 50% drop in sales, minimum. But if you say he only do 70, then that means all the casuals have left the building. only the real is tapping in at that point.
Right. Because I feel like I'm not even sure. I feel like Mr. Morale did like 350.
I don't know. Somebody in the chat got to fact check that one.
Not sure. Jar said, shout out to Jar. Jar said that he's on track to do 160 next week.
Yeah, well, that would be put it right at 50%. So that's what I expected.
Yeah.
The math is mathing. So
yeah, but the math is so funny. The math is so funny, man.
Oh no.
Well, here's the thing. You know what I'm saying? I hate it when Jay said that quote, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Numbers, if you ever like talk statistic or did business negotiations on money, numbers can do whatever you make them do. You know what I'm saying? They can dance and do all types of shit. But you got to know numbers.
Michael Brown just
so
said
they
that
do lie.
Mr. Morale did 294. Michael Brown said 294 for Mr. Morale first week.
Okay. And that was a double album. Double albums got more songs, and if you buy physicals, they still count twice.
So let's say realistically, his real projections probably no beef, in my opinion, is probably more around 200K. That's how I feel.
I still feel
like, but then you got physical sales and streams. It's like impossible to break down like what's the real numbers are.
AG, when I'm hating, don't interrupt. Don't interrupt when I'm hating. You let
this shit's getting old. Like people are unsubbing as we speak.
Sean has been doing it for so many artists.
Who's the same nigga that be like, yo, we need to get more subs, and then he run off like 200 Kendrick fans. I'm like, nigga.
we love Kendrick. I'm going to the concert.
I told you I was going to the concert.
Too hate. You said too hate. Hate. You said too hate. Three of them.
You do with your ticket. What you want to do?
I'm not getting one. I'm good.
Yo, you're not even going.
I've already seen Kendrick live.
You can't talk about my hater behavior when you're.
I've already seen Kendrick live. I'm good.
And with my pain, honey, hate.
You're right. You got to, I guess. Got to keep it across the board.
Sean better be happy that this isn't happening this year, because me hating at this event could pick me in position to win Hater of the Year with Sean right now.
You pulling up to the Atlanta show might be worse than Drake pulling up to the Toronto show.
It is true. That's fact.
Drake's definitely going to be at the Toronto show. Don't you think that it's like hold on, is that petty and intentional that they're trying to pull up to Toronto though? Like, are they asking?
Oh, 100%. You know it.
You can't go to Vancouver.
Absolutely.
Ottawa don't like Kendrick and SZA.
Nah.
But does Vancouver got a stadium? I don't know. I'm asking.
They should.
Because this is where the Blue Jays play. They're going to Toronto.
They had a basketball team. They've had that. They have to have some sort of venue that can accommodate.
Basketball teams play in arenas. They don't play in stadiums.
Yeah, they get the arena out there.
Well, put the niggas in an arena for a night. They'll be okay.
Nah, you gotta make the stadium.
It's two totally different things. It's like 5 times the people in a stadium than what's in an arena.
I mean, judging on these numbers without talking about Drake, that's what he need to get used to anyway. Go ahead and put him in there.
He's already did that.
He did that. Cool.
He had the highest grossing tour until Drake and Cole went on tour.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear
that. Yo, let me ask y'all this, because Joe Budden talked about it a little bit. I think Ice, shout out to those guys. They talked about Drake being able to pull off. Can he pull off a stadium? That was one of the questions. Can he pull off a stadium?
That's ridiculous. The answer is yes.
As a solo act, can he pull off a stadium by himself?
Easily.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes. Now, okay, so you're saying not have no opening act, not just Drake by himself?
Drake by himself. So
I don't think that's fair to even ask it, because Kendrick's not doing that. He got SZA by his side. I think Drake at 21 is not as popular as Drake. I think Drake could take 21 on the stadium tour and be all right.
You think you take 21?
Yeah, 1,000%.
I would rather.
Drake is a pop star. What are y'all talking about? Like, just because he hasn't did it doesn't mean he can't do it.
I'm just asking. I'm just asking. I don't know. Stadium stuff.
You want to know what I think would be really dope at this Drake tour? If actually he were to take Wayne and Nicki on tour and like bring the Hot Boys as the opening act.
Now that trio could definitely do a stadium. If they did a Young Money reunion tour
and a Cash Money reunion,
Drake,
have the Hot
Nicki,
Boys be the opening act. Like, think about it. Have the Hot Boys be the opening act, and the Hot Boys act transition into Wayne's act, and then you do Nicki, and then you close with Drake.
But I really think if that was the tour lineup, this is off topic, but I think he would like humble himself and give the headliner to Wayne. Just
no, Wayne's gonna be performing all night. If it's a Hot Boys opening and then it's Young Money.
But Drake's reverence for like Wayne and that arena, you know what I'm saying? I think he would give Wayne the spotlight on that.
I think in certain parts of the country he would.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. But I think it would be one of those things where Wayne would be up and around all night.
And before anybody come in, sorry, Coop, but before anybody come in any chat, well, he don't got reverence for Wayne because he smashed his girl. Like, I'm just talking about in the hip hop arena. Drake has reverence for Wayne.
Ain't nobody thinking about that. That I don't know why people make such a big deal out of that. I mean, like in all honesty, like in life and definitely in the city of Atlanta and rap, that happens all the time. Like literally all the time. I don't know.
That don't make it right though. I'm not gonna shoot him no bill on that. That shit was foul. It is what it is. That shit was foul.
I mean, was it though? I mean, she's just another girl, AG.
But you knew it was your man's girl, so you know.
Like, I mean, not being funny, she's just another girl. I mean, she don't want to put herself in the position, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, they all smashing the same chicks anyway, but that's
what I'm trying to say. They all.
But you got to live by certain codes, man. So and yeah, that's a code thing more than whether she just another girl or not. That's a code thing.
I think the record business is a shady business with shady people, so I'm never surprised.
Yeah, we got a super chat.
IMJ, first super chat from IMJ. What up, IMJ? Talking about numbers. This is hip hop. We don't care.
Agreed. I hate talking about numbers because numbers are crazy. It's hard to in this climate of hip hop. Numbers are ridiculous. You can't even talk about it and be truthful about it because so much is going on with the numbers.
The truth is always going to be in the middle because it's always like 50 said. If you want to just make music for you, then go in your basement and make some tapes and just play them like for you, for like your homies and stuff. It's called the music business for a reason. You are in the business of selling a product. It is an entrepreneurial endeavor. So we can't act like the numbers don't matter. Is it skewed? Is it problematic? Is it a never-ending discussion at this rate how these streams and bundles and packaging and 360, 180,
it's all relevant.
I don't know.
It's all relevant conversation.
They doing more. They doing more funny stuff with numbers than drug dealers. Like I don't
absolutely.
And even though you don't care to the super chatter, thank you for the numbers that matter, which is your super chat money. So we appreciate it.
I think that's an excellent way for us to segue to the next thing, which is, I mean, I know we've kind of like touched on this briefly, but is this Weezy and Dot thing happening? Have we heard anything? Are we hearing anything? What do you got? You got some info? Good. I don't want to see this shit.
I think it's dead because as quick as it came up, it went down. Pause. That sounds crazy. Man, that was crazy.
You made it so far. Far.
That's what Coop told us last week. Remember, he said Shorty was like, "Yo, you better get some of that honey in your system." And Coop was like, "I can't get it," but nah, I think it's my bad, Coop. My bad, Coop.
No. I'm proud of you. You actually made it. Hold on, 1 hour and 44 minutes.
Yeah.
Put on the Ediths to check the time.
I'm working on myself, man. Now, here's what I heard because I'll be back in NO in 2 weeks. Shout out to my team down there. It's done. Nothing is going to happen unless they try to put the battery in the back when it was actually at its height for a couple of hours because it was only a couple of hours when it was at its height, and they tried to put the battery in the back, and they was like, "Nah, there's no need to engage." There's gonna be careful how I say this. There might be some subs that may fly here and there, but it won't be anything more than that unless somebody steps out there like directly on the landmine. But there will be some subs to tee some things up, but nothing is going to be imminent no time soon.
Subs are just part of the game. I expect to hear subs from every rapper on every rap album.
Yeah.
Kendrick loves Wayne, He dedicated a whole album to being inspired. I mean, not album, but mixtape being inspired by Wayne. But he's not above crashing out if Wayne put something out there. And, you know, talking to one of my homies, he was saying he think that with Wayne's checkered past, it would be too much of an easy target for Kendrick, even more so than Drake, because, you know, you got the drug abuse, and then the whole, because Kendrick is very much, you know, black empowerment, pro black this, you know, pro black that. And Wayne is on record talking about he don't care about Black Lives Matter and all this stuff or whatever. So, you know, the sentiment is that Kendrick would just have a field day with a lot of the stuff you could pick apart, you know, with Wayne in the battle. And I don't disagree.
Yeah.
You know, some ammunition can also work to a fault.
But I think Sean told me this. Wayne, you know, when we talk behind the scenes, Wayne is more lauded by the public than Drake is. Drake has a lot of the casual fans, but Wayne is like really loved by a big contingent of rap fans.
I have Wayne higher than Drake and Kendrick.
Yeah.
As far as just
all time,
a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. People had Wayne as the GOAT at one point.
Yeah, his fanfare is up there, but a lot of those people abandoned him at some point, and I think that has a lot to do with, you know, where he has so many kids on his tree. They had another version of, you know, Wayne to latch on to, like they went to Future to get what they needed or whatever. But
like, how about this? At this point, having rappers like Ice Cube, Scarface, and Ghostface ahead of Wayne is strictly only about the rap albums that they made and nothing else.
That is a very valid point.
Yeah.
That would make him top 10 easy if that's the case.
I got him at number 11 currently.
I don't have him there.
I think I have him somewhere in that spectrum too, AG. I think I have him like literally 11 or 12. Like,
but Kendrick is at 10 for me.
Oh, no. See, I have Kendrick like behind him at like 13, 14. So,
but still same area.
Yeah, same wheel.
Yeah. That will make it interesting, because if they do go out there and step out there, which is, I don't see, it's not going to happen. It changes that dynamic, because you still have a Wayne fan base, and you also have a Nicki fan base that ride for Wayne. That Barb team, they will back up Wayne 1000%. And again, as we know, social media drives a lot of this. It's not always the music. We, as hip hop heads, we want to talk about the music. Let's get to the bare bones. We don't feel that Wayne can hold a candle to Kenny. You saw what he did with Gilly. He couldn't even handle Gilly, right? He couldn't even, and that's
I don't want to bring that up. That's a bad memory, man.
I know it's a bad memory. We got to face these things, right? Coop had to face the reality today. He, you know what? 3 Stacks didn't do good for Coop this year. J. Cole didn't do good for Coop this year. Kendrick dropped the album of the year possibly this year, and he dropped a diss record, and he probably named Coop somewhere in there. So Coop having a bad year.
Nobody's decoded it yet.
Yeah, I mean, so Coop is having
Coop's name was on that Scrabble board in the Squabble Up video somewhere. It said Colin up there somewhere.
No, it said co-op. It just said co-op, but we know it means Coop. You know what I mean? So
you thought it was a video game co-op.
Do the knowledge, man. So Coop is having a bad year. You know what I mean? He has the Armani exchange, right? And he having a bad year. So you got to face your fears sometimes, like Coop is facing his fears. So I say that to say this: Wayne better not step on that landmine, because
he don't need to.
We still love Wayne to a certain degree, right? Yes, no. We still like Wayne. We still love Wayne.
I still love Wayne. Still have Wayne and Kendrick. Be no gold chains for you, Sean. This is exactly what I'm talking to you about. Be no gold chains for you. We're gonna get you. No. We're gonna get you a coffee mug.
That's crazy.
Can I ask this question though? If this would pop off, would it be the battle over the most petty thing ever? Because it's all predicated on the Super Bowl halftime show.
I think all rappers battle over petty things.
I know, but I can't think of anything more petty that jumped off a battle than, well, it wouldn't solely be the Super Bowl thing, because, you know what I'm saying, Drake is Young Money and all that too. So, you know, if Wayne want to stand beside Drake or what have you, but I can't think of any other battle that it was over nothing personal, nothing said to one another. It's just that one was unhappy he didn't get something, and then the other person got it, and it went from there.
Yeah.
You know, there's definitely some of the Drake shrapnel aftermath involved in some of that as well, I think. Though
That's not on the docket, but I seen Maul on Roy Maul's show said that Kendrick got a lot of pressure on the Super Bowl halftime because Beyonce's performing halftime at the Christmas Day game. I forget who's playing, but Christmas Day game, Beyonce's performing halftime, and it's not going to be as many eyes on that game, but just from a level of notoriety and her level of performance, does that put pressure on Kendrick come Super Bowl in February?
I think those are two separate entities, two separate times, and the way the news media cycle works. You know, it'll be some fodder, but it'll be brief. It'll be small.
Fair.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen, we're about to get out of here soon, but we're going to do what we usually do.
Indeed.
And we're going to go to our Discord dialogue. Discord dialogue winner this week is DJ Premier. I'm going to slide it to AG Rock and roll a.
DJ Premier, winner of the Discord dialogues. If you're new to this channel, we have a Discord, and every week we nominate multiple people to possibly be a topic on our show. And this week it just so happened to be DJ Premier as our winner that got the most votes in our Discord group. What I'll say about DJ Premier, I'm heavily anticipating his album that he's doing with Nas. We might not get it this year. It may happen next year.
Not
But
happening.
Coop maintains that it's not happening. But personally, for me, I got Premier ranked as number 2 all time for my producers. He has a very signature sound. As soon as it comes on, it's Primo. Some people might hold that against him and say that his range is not as much as some other producers. But it's the age-old question: would you rather have range and not have a signature sound, or have your own signature sound? And Primo's sound is very signature. And what's fascinating about that signature, he shaped a whole New York hip hop landscape. He was one of the main architects of that, and he wasn't even from New York. He's from Texas. So to not be from an area and create the whole sound aesthetic behind that is a pretty amazing feat. And Coop has alluded to this quite a few times on our show, that our, trinity of New York hip hop artists, Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas, however you want to rank them, they're at the top. They all had to come through DJ Premier on their debuts in order to create classics and other classics thereafter. So that should say something in and of itself, because his production catalog outside of his group Gangstar is just as classic as his Gangstar production catalog. And that's all I got to say about Premier. Shout out to you, DJ Premier.
Sean, you want to take it, or you want me to rock?
No, well said, AG. Shout out to the Discord. The Discord, they selected Premier for this week's Discord dialogues. I'm not going to rehash what AG said. My biggest takeaway is Premier is one of the best when it comes to mixing and scratching on the record. Signature sound. He has the New York aesthetic. He helped create the New York aesthetic in the golden era of hip hop in the 90s for New York. And like you said, AG, he's a Texas guy, Midwest guy, and he came up top and gave us a foundation to build on in the golden era of hip hop in New York. So shout out to Preem. Go ahead, Coop.
After going through his catalog over the last couple of days, specifically today, I usually have RZA at number 2, but it's just hard to put RZA over Preem when you listen to the array of stuff that he hits you with. It is classic hip hop coming at you. He may have given out more hip hop classics than any other rap producer. That might be his biggest claim to fame. Like everybody from J. Rue to Damager to OC to AD to Rakim, Nas, Big, Jay, Gangstar, Group Home, Chubb Rock on Crooklyn Dodgers, KRS-One, Big Daddy Kane, Cool G Rap. Like, I mean, this guy's like shit. Christina Aguilera, for God's sake. Limp Bizkit with Method Man. it's just been phenomenal. And my biggest takeaway from his career is actually how important Moment of Truth is, because I think making Moment of Truth gives him that manifesto within the framework of his own group that is reflected production wise on how truly supremely gifted he is. He needs an album production wise that rivals The Chronic and Doggy Style and Liquid Swords and The Purple Tape. And Moment of Truth is that, and is viable in that context to me, as far as the production, sequencing, and just the beats themselves and MCs wanting to rap over them. I mean, I tell people all the time, I mean, think about this. It's like, what is a Biggie, Jay-Z, or Nas greatest 20 songs without DJ Premier? Well, you're missing about 3 to 6 songs on each guy's top 20 list.
Yep.
Easy. Like, what is Jay's catalog without A Million and One Questions and The Evils? What is Nas's catalog without New York State of Mind and Nas is Like? What is Biggie's catalog like without Kick in the Door and the 10 Crack Commandments?
Unbelievable.
Really, like, think about it. Think about how impactful he is just for those guys' greatest hits catalog. Take him out of their greatest hits catalog, their greatest hits catalog isn't as strong.
It's a little different.
Yep.
So he's a little different, and we're gonna go slide into our press play it as we get out of here, which is actually all DJ Premier tracks.
Yes,
I like to
sir.
start with my favorite record, for my favorite intro of all time. Off Gangstar's album Moment of Truth, which is You Know My Steez, DJ Premier.
Oh, hold on real quick, Coop. Do you want to tell them that the challenge we put against ourselves when we created these press plays, the kind of
yeah, you want to know it? Thank you, AG, for reminding me of that. So with these press plays that AG and Sean and I did, we intentionally said no Jay-Z, Biggie, or Nas records because we really wanted the production of DJ Premier to be the thing and not it become a conversation about how Nas, Jay, and Big skated on Preem shit. We wanted to make it about Preem. We felt the best way to make it about Preem was to kind of leave that little holy trinity out of the fray this time around. So we made a concentrated effort to do that. Now, I believe at number 2, Sean, you can put that up for me right quick. I believe I had Group Home, Living Proof. A lot of people feel like beat-wise, this actual whole album might be his best production job. I do think the beats on Moment of Truth are better, but this is his second best collection of beats.
a lot of people say that Group Home's album is the best. I agree with you though, Group Moment of Truth.
Yeah. Moment of Truth is the best, but I would have loved to heard OC or J. Rue on these beats over Group Home around this time.
Agreed.
I think having OC or J. Rue, maybe both for one album, would have impacted New York culture and hip hop totally differently because these beats on here are stellar. They are rappers selection of beats, and the song Living Proof is living proof of that. Roll tape next. Next. This was a last minute addition by me. This was totally random. This record came on while I was in the car today getting my daughter's car clean. And when it came on and the drop just came through, I was just like, I can't. This is Big L and Big Daddy Kane. My takeaway from this record was that it would have been so interesting. You know, Big L and Jay had a lot of the same strengths and deficiencies, voice being one of them. I noticed that I would have loved to seen how L would have performed and what type of songs he would have made had he lived over time to put himself in that upper echelon. Because when Kane comes in, his voice, the gravitas that is Kane, kind of takes over the record. And it makes me wonder about what a Big L would have done in prime time against Kane. But a wonderful record, one of my favorite Primo beats, one of my favorite Kane verses, the best record on Big L's posthumous project, The Big Picture, in my opinion. Next. This is a real gem. Clap your hands, everybody, if you got what it takes. Cause I'm KRS and I'm on the mic and Premier's on the brakes. Boom. That's the first time. That's when I found out who DJ Premier was. I didn't know who DJ Premier was until KRS actually said it on MC's Act Like They Don't Know.
This is my favorite KRS-One song of all time.
Is it? It's top 10 in my opinion, and I think that's saying a lot because I think he has a top 5-ish catalog.
Yeah. I almost picked this for myself, but I'm glad you got it for yours, Coop. And it's getting mentioned because I left it off mine, but this deserves to be on our list.
I was trying to decide between this one and Rappers Are in Danger, and this beat's just better.
It is.
It is.
And not only is it one of my favorite, it's my favorite KRS song. I think you could argue that this is the top 15-ish Premier beat.
Yeah. No, this beat's crazy.
Yeah. Top 10 to 15. Yeah.
And you want to know when I talk about KRS-One's catalog, no, this KRS-One album is great.
It is.
Free Mumia, Oh Yeah, MCs Act Like They Don't Know, Rappers Are in Danger. That's what I'm saying. It's like if you go look at those 4 Boogie Down Productions album, and then you look at Return of the Boom Bap, and then you look at KRS-One, the album, this album, and then I Got Next, which isn't as good. Oh no, there's only literally a handful of guys walking around with 6 or 7 projects as good as KRS-One. Yeah. Like literally handful. Like we talk
and
about
I don't sing KRS-One's praises, but you're spitting all facts right now. I got to be objective.
I mean, the only guys that are walking around with records this good, like as far as full albums, are Nas, Jay, Scarface, Ghostface. Like those guys are the guys walking around with those projects. Like as far as like the quality of the level and the classic nature of the songs that are within the framework of the album. I see CJ the Kid right quick with a super chat. Joe Budden said Wayne went into the booth. We'll see if that holds, CJ.
Yeah.
So yeah, next.
Projection. Yeah.
J. Rue the Damager, Come Clean. This is the record that the Griselda sound was inspired by, in my opinion. This is that slow drawl, heavy mental, boom bap definition. This is 1992, 93 East Coast hip hop at its finest. J. Rue's off-kilter, off-meter flow fits perfectly with the rhythmic slow timing of this beat. It is a masterpiece. It is a hip-hop classic. If some said it was a top 50 hip-hop song, I would not necessarily argue. If we're talking about
the water drip sound.
The water drip.
blew your mind first time you heard it, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, so this is before he had an identifiable sound. So you really don't know that this is Preem until later.
Good point. Very good point.
Come Clean doesn't have a DJ Premier sound. That's what I mean. That DJ Premier sound people talk about, that really didn't happen until 95. Like Memory Lane doesn't sound like DJ Premier. New York State of Mind doesn't sound like DJ Premier. Represent. Even Unbelievable. Unbelievable is kind of where it starts, you know? But
I see what you're saying. Like I would say that sound started a little bit earlier, but I see where you're going. I kind of
94 is like you hear flashes of it, but it doesn't become that sound really until 95, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So next record, Cool G Rap, First Nigga Remix. This is a really, 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 really slept on DJ Premier produced record.
It is.
Yeah.
I love this record. This is actually, in my opinion, a top 20 Cool G Rap record, actually.
Easily.
In my opinion. I'm about to say maybe, I don't think it's top 10, but I do think it's top 20.
Yeah.
And I wanted to pick a DJ Premier record that I felt like maybe some people or the casual person that may catch our podcast isn't up on, and this is the one that I would want them to catch. This is the stray from DJ Premier that I want you to catch. This is one of those GOAT Talk records where it's like, man, he did stuff like that people ain't even really, like, you know,
right,
ain't even heard like that. That's great. Like, he's been great for a long time. Mm-hmm. And last but not least, people forget Mash Out Posse, Stick to Your Guns, which, by the way, has Cool G Rap on it. People forget, this is what I'm saying about Preem. Oh no, he produced Fire and Squad. He produced a few projects for MOP, for OC, for J. Rue, the Gangstar projects, being part of the Biggie J and Nas projects. Preem put in about as much work inside and outside of his group as anybody that you could think of. And the thing that I really like about him And Moment of Truth is that proof positive to me. Well, go listen to the beats that he handed to everybody in '96 and '97.
Big
They're
facts.
not as good as the beats on Moment of Truth.
Yeah.
Even for as great, I want you to think about this. Even for as great as you think some of that stuff is, think about the Evils, Bring It On, Friend or Foe, I Gave You Power. Oh, those beats aren't good enough to make Moment of Truth. I'm sorry.
It was more so what the MCs was doing on the beats.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
beats beat wise aren't good enough to make Moment of Truth. The
Yeah.
rappers
No,
made
that's
those
fair.
records, but he held his special stuff in the tuck for his right hand man, and I respect that. Out
As
of
he should.
Havoc was very good about doing that for
Mm-hmm.
for Prodigy too, because as much as I love the setup in live nigga rap, it's like you heard the beats on Hell on Earth, right? Same year,
Right.
same year, right? So shout out to Preem. I'm gonna let y'all rock with y'all Preem list. AG, go.
All right. Like Coop said in the beginning, we wanted to limit ourselves by not picking Jay-Z, Big, and Nas records. I also wanted to limit myself to a degree outside of the Gangstar catalog, but I wanted to make sure I had one um
I
track
picked
from
one
the
too.
Gangstar catalog.
Yeah,
So, and I think you did the same, Coop, right?
yeah. That was intentional by me too. I wanted to pick
Yeah,
one song from the Gangstar catalog.
yeah. We was thinking on the same wavelength. So I picked Above the Clouds, which happens to be my all-time favorite premiere beat, number one for me. And love this record. And the Inspector Deck feature. That's one of my favorite Deck verses ever, and that's saying something because he got so many on just all the Woo projects. But hearing him over DJ Premier production and what he did on this track was it's heavenly. It say it in the track, Above the Clouds. It's a heavenly track, man. I love this record. Coop said it a lot of times. Moment of Truth, I think, is their best album, bar none. Hard to Earn is a close second, but Moment of Truth is where everything really comes together flawlessly, and this is my favorite record off that. So next I got The Enemy by
Ooh.
Big L featuring Fat Joe off the Big Picture. And man, listen, this track is so mean, sinister. It's just like this is the soundtrack you put on if you walking somebody down. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm being dead ass. Like this track that gives you that feeling, man. And then Big L and Fat Joe with the bars, it just it's a flawless track. Shout out to Eppins, man. I told you I was gonna represent Big L on my list, so yeah, Big L he got some classics over Premier Production, so The Enemy's on my list. Next up, I got None of Y'all Better, which is Jadakiss featuring the Locks on his almost classic Kiss the Game Goodbye album. I think this is another, dark beat. You know what I mean? It's in Premier's wheelhouse, but it's perfectly fitting for the Locks. A lot of times people recognize for Premier with, linking up with the Locks, but to me that doesn't hold a candle to this record. It's one of the standouts of Kiss the Game Goodbye for me, and it might have one of my favorite intros all time to a record, where Styles P said, "We like the Holy Trinity. We like three guns." He said, "Get shot three different ways. Matter of fact, six different ways. Got in each hand, bitch." So, Styles P is wild, man. I love that record, man. So,
I think None of Y'all Better sounds better than Recognize because Locks do
Oh
the
yeah.
dark and dreary better than they do the
yes,
happy upbeat.
Oh yeah.
absolutely. But it don't get referenced near as much as Recognized, which blows my mind. So, but
I think Recognize has more of that Premier sound that's more notarized for that era. That's why.
Absolutely.
very true. Very true. Next, Cooper already had this one on his list. Another
Great
Big L classic over a Premier beat. Love this beat. I love the energy on this record. But my God, that Big Daddy Kane feature. Like, yo, in real time when I heard this, I was amazed. Like, yo, Kane, because like I said, rappers were on running back years. So when I heard this feature, I was like, oh shit, Kane still got it. Like he might have out rap L on this. Like that's
Oh,
what I
yeah.
was thinking. Yeah, he really did. And that's what I was thinking in real time. Like punchlines was crazy, flow was in pocket. That like Big Daddy Kane.
Dude, when he said, "When I come through, flip it with the chicken and broccoli Tim's," I was
Yeah,
like,
I
"What?"
mean,
Like you
Yeah,
said,
and then just
what?
to end it the way that he ended, it was, the way he ended the verse with coughing, like, pardon my fucking sick with it. Like, it's almost as dope as how he ended the symphony to me.
It's
Like,
very
you know what I'm saying?
symphony-like. It's very,
Yeah,
very symphony-like.
facts. Like,
Yeah,
shout out to
I'm
Kane.
with you, man. When he said I'm gonna
Yeah,
put it in your chest like a Stockton pass, I was like, yo,
crazy,
Yeah.
crazy. And the beat is hanging right with him with the bars. But love that record. And we just talked about Kane, so getting to another rapper of that era that's an all-time great, who is Kane's counterpart. I'm gonna go with Rakim, When I Be on the Mic. Now,
really?
yes, love this
Why
record.
did you? Why did you pick this over? It's been a long time. You like this over? It's been a long time.
I do. I really do. Rakim sounds great over Premier Production, and I'm gonna just be honest. The Master album was pretty bad. It wasn't a good album,
Yeah, not good.
but
Not
this
good.
was one saving grace on the album. I loved it. I love this record.
Only about 3 records on that album. This is one of them.
Yeah, and Rakim is floating on it, and Rakim was in a different pocket on this. Like the bounce that the track has, Rakim is really in his like slick talk bag. If you listen to the lyrics and like, I just love what Rakim's doing on the track. Braggadocio, he's going off, and I do like it over It's Been a Long Time. Although that is a great track as well. So then next I got The Format by my man AZ. One thing about it, Coop had the come up on another press play like a week or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's why I didn't choose it this time too.
Right. And I didn't choose it either. But the reason why I wanted to highlight The Format was because, we're getting ready to get a Nas and Premier album. But I wouldn't mind a AZ and Premier EP. Because if you think of AZ's track record over Premier beats, you got The Come Up, The Format, what he did on the Lady remix with D'Angelo, the way he slid on that. Listen,
I'll take a 5-piece. I'll take a 5-piece from AM Preem.
Man, listen, yeah, that's on my wish list at some point. After he release it with Nas, AZ, if you're listening, go tap in with Primo for about a 5-joint EP. Would love to hear that. So, and people sleep on that My Lady remix. You know what I'm saying? Like
Lady remix is
that joint's crazy. I almost put it on my list.
Ooh,
Almost put it on my list, but I did.
You want to know what A really killed? The Monifa I Miss You remix.
Sure did. Yep.
Check the Gold Cellar, the Rockefeller with lots of mozzarella.
Facts.
The Never Nuts Cheddar trying to have this lock forever.
That whole songs like that, we don't even get those no more. That whole era was fly. Crazy. But I digress.
Remix game was great. Ask R. Kelly.
Right. Whoa, hold on. You got me agreeing with Wow.
Got you. Happen fast. That's the girl.
Yeah. Right. For my last song, I got Boom by Royce the 5'9" off the Rock City album. This is one of Premier's best beats to me. The ticking of the clock in the beat, and then the Lady of Rage sample in there, flawless, chef's kiss. And the chemistry that they exhibited on this for their first time collabing would come to fruition with 2 full-length projects, Prime 1 and Prime 2, which the first one I consider, close to being a classic, and the second one is solid as well. So, this was the beginning of that relationship, man. And shout out to Royce the 5'9", one of my favorite MCs. Lupe sent him to the Shadow Realm, but I still rock with Royce, though.
He's definitely in the upside down of Stranger Things, but this is the record.
Right.
Got me. Yeah, he's in the upside down right now. We need to go find him.
Right. Facts.
But this was the record that made me a fan, though. I was like, oh, Royce sound like this over Preem. I'm like, go ahead and stamp him. So this was his stamp moment for me. This was his like hip hop approval moment.
Yeah, he sounded natural with Preem, which is no surprise why they ended up making 2 full-length projects, together.
That's how you knew he was a real MC too. It's like, sliding over Prime Preem, like Prime Preem, I think for us is like 94 to 02, and this is like what 98, 99.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you one thing. That word is they have been working low key on Prime 3 a little bit here and there. If there's no Eminem feature on Prime 3 over Preem beat, I'm gonna be pissed.
Okay.
Nah, for real, man. We need that, man.
No, we don't.
We need M over a Preem beat. I'm gonna just put that out there.
We can do without. So I had an idea what you guys were gonna go with. I know you guys were gonna go nostalgic with Preem. I want to be a little bit more unorthodox in my approach to the Preem records. So I want to kick mine off with The Game, Born in the Trap.
He always trying
always
to make himself so special. He get on my nerves.
Oh, man, I'm just I want to be a little bit
You want to
more.
know what?
Want to be a little different. I had an idea where you guys were going to go with it before you sent your list over. But I want
No,
to
you
start.
didn't. You act like you was clairvoyant with it. We sent you to our little list. You didn't. You saw where we was going because
We had to send you a list.
Oh, can I do my
We
first?
had to send
All right, go
you
ahead. My bad.
a list. Yeah, you know what
I mean, at the end of the day, I want to represent the West Coast first and foremost, and do. I was thinking about that one with Snoop in Premiere, or the one with Lady Rage in Premiere, but I wanted Game because I always thought Born to Trap was a dope record from Premiere and Game. Wish they did some more.
And this album is slept on low key, right? You know what I'm saying? People sleep on the Red album.
Very slept on.
Yeah.
Also wanted to go with J. Rue the Damage. You're playing yourself. This was one of the joints right here that started the whole beef with Big, right?
Yeah.
And I felt like this was one of the ones that J. Rue was actually really trying to put himself in position to be one of those out of New York. And again, the fact that Premier was able to do this, but also still rock with Big and still be in that whole circle and always be neutral. Even Big threw a shot at Premier. You know what I mean? Like
on kicking the door.
Or kicking the door. So
no, that wasn't a preem shot. You think that was a preem shot?
Preem said it himself. I'm surprised you run with them. I heard they got, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Preem said that was for him. Like saying, like, yo, how you chilling with them over there?
Yeah, that was for Preem.
Nas and Preem. Nas, Preem, J. Big went at everybody on that record. That's my favorite Big record.
Kicking the door. Everybody called it straight.
And I was low key mad that I set standard for myself to not be able to use that because that's my favorite Big record of all time. But
it is kicking the door
for real.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
I remember where I was the first time I heard kicking the door. I was like, oh.
For sure.
As do we all.
And I want to dig in the crate on this one. I want to go with Sarface featuring Deck. Let It
Ooh,
Off.
That's a good pull.
That was one of them joints. Sarface is ridiculous, man. Like, look, man.
4.25. 4.25.
No, but they don't get brought up enough. They put out dope stuff.
Dope stuff. But
they're more of a hip hop group than Run the Jewels are.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
They don't get.
But that goes back to the niche conversation, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Say less.
I also want to represent CNN, Invincible. I think this was the best song on that album, on the reunion album. Home just got back home. Bang Bang was dope too. Bang Bang was dope. But this was the one. I felt like the Invincible was the one though. I felt like this was the one, and I really wanted to go with that joint.
And Phone Home. What was it? Phone Home.
That was on the first one. That was on
No, not Capone. Hold on. What was the first single? Remember the first single was like they was talking like Capone was still locked up and Nori was on the outside and they was going back and forth. Remember that joint?
Yeah, they had the video for that one too.
Yeah, they had.
But that was the first single though.
That was the first single.
Yeah.
It was.
I thought that was the second joint.
That's when those guys were going B-side singles. You're right.
Yeah, Bang Bang was the B-side single. He's like, we're gonna thug this shit. Where Fox is taking
Bang Bang was my second favorite on there. Invincible, hands down, was my first.
Fox
gave Kim some body blows on there.
She gave him some hell on that.
There's some work on there. Yeah, there's some work on there.
For sure. My next one, Digging the Crate, Black Poet. I don't know if y'all remember Black Poet from Screwball.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, Queensbridge finest. Shout out to Black Poet. But the only reason I love this joint was because I remember when Black Poet actually dropped it. Nas had loved this song. He actually did a freestyle to bang this instrumental. He did a freestyle to this. And I've always felt this is one of Cream's most slept on beats on Bang This. Love this joint. He went crazy on the beat on this joint. My next one, West Side Gun, Sean versus Flair. I don't know why you guys left this one out. I don't know why y'all left this one out. Anytime
it's one of his better modern day beats, but
it is. Yeah, it is.
It is. And that's why I want to represent this one because we always felt that, like you said, I think you said what, 02, 01, maybe 02, maybe 03-ish. Preem kind of lost a little bit of that extra spark that he had. Because after that, he was kind of like a hit or miss or kind of recycled type stuff. In a sense.
I mean, if you really want to know the truth, this is where we need to start considering it too. Well, he had a longer run than most of his contemporaries in terms of his peak. Like his
He did.
peak's longer than Q-Tip's. It's longer than Large Pros. It's longer than Pete Rock's. In a lot of ways, it's longer than Dre's.
Yeah, because he did so much.
Yeah,
He did
That's what
so
I mean.
much.
Like he did more work than Dre did.
He was doing
And
full
RZA.
albums. He was doing full albums. He was doing Lucy's. He
Yeah.
was doing a lot.
Like
yeah.
he did.
He was doing a lot.
He
I
did
think-
two J. Rue albums, OC album, 3 MOP albums, the
Yeah.
5 Gangstar albums, the contributions to everybody else's albums.
Yeah.
Like,
He was doing a lot, man.
This is up there with my, like you said, for a modern joint. But the one that I would put above this is the joint on Ab Soul's last album, Herbert.
I was
I
thinking
forget the name of the song.
what's the Rome joint? The Rome joint.
Oh, yeah. I forget the name of it. I know what you're talking about.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm
that's
talking
Preem got a
That's the
handful of
best
dope
one.
modern joints.
That
got some
might be the best modern beat he's done is the Rome joint.
He got some joints. He got some joints. And my last one, Fat Joe, That White.
Hard record.
Oh my goodness. One thing I can say about Fat Joe, in his run, he never failed with production.
Mm-mm. One of the best ears.
One of
So
the best
I just
ears.
want to get something clear.
Yeah.
You love Fat Joe, but you hate Rick Ross.
I don't hate Rick Ross. I don't like what Rick Ross has. I
You
don't like
said that with a straight face.
Yeah. I don't.
See how
I
he
don't
tried. You see how he tried, AG? You tried.
No, I don't hate Rick Ross. I just don't like the
tried.
way he handled things with this whole, the Drake stuff and the Kendrick stuff. He shouldn't implement himself into that.
AG, do we not have tape and footage of this man being disrespectful to Rick Ross before this beef started? Okay.
Absolutely.
Don't use the beef as an excuse.
Absolutely.
Start about the disrespectful.
Because I didn't like his antics.
Because you don't like Rick Ross.
Joe forgot some antics too. I see what Coop's getting at.
Yeah, Joper has some antics, but not like Ross. Ross
fair.
He just does some funny stuff.
I don't know. That sounds a little New York bias, Corona Queen.
Nah, he's cool. You got to admit, he do some funny stuff. He talked himself in the third
Joe
person.
don't do funny stuff.
yeah, he does. Rose.
Come on,
what's the difference between Fat Joe and Rose at this point?
There's
outside
not
of
much.
A bottle of Bel Air or two.
It's not. It's some say that the pickle better cucumber, right?
Don't show Joe all this love. I just be showing Joe a lot of love, and you should just think about maybe showing Rose some love. Rose.
Nah, but this is a hard Fat Joe song. This joint goes.
And I didn't want to do 2 Joe joints because I really wanted to do I'm Gone, because he had that on the Dark Side album with Primo. I wanted to do that one as well, but I felt like That White was the one. That White is the one. And I really want to represent that as well.
You think it's better than that gangster shit off Don Cartagena?
I think so. That white beat is crazy, man.
White beat's crazy.
I don't know. That's a close one.
Go back and listen to That White. Go back and listen to that one.
So here's the thing. Think about this. We just came up with 21 songs, but we probably named about another 21 to 25 songs while we were talking.
Just in conversation, yeah. And that's what I was about to say. Like we come up with,
and that's without us really bringing up the J Big and Nas song.
No,
that's what I'm saying. So he
was working.
When he says he's the top 3 producer all time, it's like, you want to know what?
He is
right.
He is. I have number 2 behind RZA, and that's only because of RZA's run was so dynamic.
I think I might have to put him at 2 ahead of RZA and slide RZA to 3 is what my thought was today.
I can't do it. I won't do it. I can't.
I'm not mad at them being interchangeable. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not mad at that. But we just came up with a
higher.
So we're clear. Kanye's not in the top 3 then. Kanye's not in the top 3 then.
Cool. I don't know. Kanye might be.
Dre, RZA, Preem.
I don't have Dre at number 1 because there's too many question marks behind his production.
But still, Dre, RZA, Preem, like 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1.
I got Kanye. I got Kanye at 4.
So it's, like I said, not top 3 though, right? Dre, RZA, Preem is top 3 still, right?
Right.
Cool.
Yeah.
So Ye's 4 at most.
I put Ye around 4, right at 4 mark.
I put Ye at 4.
Yeah.
Ye's trajectory looked like he was getting ready to pass everybody, but
who's your 5? Well, we'll see how that's gone.
It leveled up.
Yeah, it balanced itself out.
Oh, real quick though, we just came out with a fire playlist, 21 tracks, you know what I'm saying, for DJ Premier. So those of you who who are not familiar with DJ Premier's work that are watching, run this playlist when we put it up. But I want to just brag on myself for a little bit before we get off here. You know what I'm saying? You're going to call me a Stan Coop, but when we did our Spotify rap, when it told us the most songs listened to, actually my number one song for 2024 was Define My Name. So shout out to Premier for that record. You know what I'm saying? Streamed it 52 times, I think it said. So my number one stream song for 2024. I know you hate on that song, Coop.
Yeah, it's just okay. It better not be on the album. And I haven't
Bonus
done my
track.
Spotify Wrapped or my Apple Music or my YouTube Music playlist yet, but I will. But I have a good idea about the stuff that I have listened to this year, so I imagine that I'll be seeing some usual suspects. To find
Family Matters is going to be your number one joint, I'm pretty sure.
No, it didn't play.
It's to get them glow.
Record. I tell you what, a record I did play up. I played Wise Up a lot. Common and Pete Rock joint. Wise Up got a lot of play this year.
Wise Up is crazy. Wise Up is really good.
Yeah, Wise Up got a lot of play this year. So we'll see what my list is looking like. Sean's list has everything but Jay on it, I'm pretty certain. So we know how that
It's
looks.
funny because Jay's my number 3. Jay's my number 3.
I gotta see picture evidence of that.
I put in Discord.
Did you? Okay.
Definitely want evidence. All right,
Jay Rue the Damager.
Right.
J.O. Felony.
That dude's crazy, man.
Not Jay-Z. You shouldn't be talking about Jay-Z.
All right, fellas, it's time to get out of here.
I gotta go. Yo, fellas, appreciate y'all. Thank you for the chat on Discord dialogues. Shout out to the Discord. Follow us on Hip Hop Talks 1, Twitter, Facebook, Discord, YouTube. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Peace. We out.
Trio Gold Shop.
Trio Gold Shop. Everything's in the chat.
Peace, y'all.